5 The Fan. Usually at the top of the show, I would try to give you some piping hot take on today's game. I don't have that to start today's show. I think today, in a lot of ways, is a celebratory day, and today is really hyper-focused on 3 specific individuals or groups of people. Let's get into them. Number 1, let's start with Salvador Perez. I think there have been, I don't just think this, I know there have been multiple times over the course of the last 3 years that Salvador Perez has been approached asking if he would accept a trade to another team. He has had opportunities to go play for the Chicago White Sox. He has had opportunities to go play for the Miami Marlins. He has had an opportunity to be reunited with Dayton Moore down with the Texas Rangers. He has had outside opportunities to continue his career over the course of the last 3 years. I think we can also say that given how the Royals were and the flux that they were in, I don't think anybody would have been upset. I don't believe that anyone would have faulted Salvador Perez if he had agreed and accepted a trade to go play for another organization. Salvi posts something in the Kansas City Star celebrating the fans. He comes back for a regular season game, gets the standing ovation that he deserves, and one day he goes into the Royals Hall of Fame. He gets his number retired. He gets a statue, and one day he goes into Cooperstown. But you know what? Every single time that this topic has come up, Salvi has quickly ended that conversation. He has never expressed a desire in wanting to go play for another organization. Today is about Salvi having the same feelings that he had a decade ago when this team ran this town, when everybody was wearing blue, when none of us had been to a championship parade. Now we're veterans when it comes to a championship parade. Today is about Salvador Perez being a bridge for 2 of the most important teams and players in Royals history. Whether it was being a bridge for Eric Hosmer, where he and his son are throwing out the first pitch today, or it's Bobby Witt Jr. And we'll get to Bobby Witt in a bit, but today is a celebration of Salvador Perez and how he persevered, how he stayed true, how he kept with it. And his reward was he got a chance to go back and play in the postseason sun in the uniform that he really wants to do it in. Salvi has no interest in going to play for the Yankees or the Padres or any of these other teams. Salvi wanted to do it here in Kansas City. And when many people thought that he would never play in a postseason game again, that he was just going to ride off into the sunset of his glory years, Salvador Perez is now in the middle of a team that has a legitimate shot of going back to a World Series. Today should be a celebration of Salvi, his perseverance, his longevity as a baseball player, and Salvi is back. It's like 2014 never ended. It's like 2015 never ended. Salvi is still one of the key run producers for a Royals team that is set to host a postseason game. The other player who is in that same vein is Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby stayed when a lot of those guys from the 14 and 15 team didn't. No slight, no shade towards them. Guys did what they thought was in the best interest of their career. Guys did what they thought was in the best interest of their families, but a lot of Royals players have been given the opportunity to stay and declined and said no. Bobby Witt Jr. would have had the ability to ride this thing out. He would have had the ability on the back end to be a free agent and go play for any baseball team he wanted to. It didn't matter if he wanted to be the shortstop for the Yankees. Didn't matter if he wanted to go play in LA. Maybe he wanted to go back home to play for the Texas Rangers. Bobby Witt Jr. at some point in his life was going to be faced with the opportunity to be that if that's what he wanted to be. He did something that not many young superstars in his position have done. It's easy to sign that long-term deal with the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Angels or one of those franchises. Bobby Witt Jr. has locked himself and the prime of his career to staying in Kansas City. He has locked the majority of his career, the best years of him playing baseball, to an organization that won 56 games last year, and he has never blinked in doing it. He said so after this team clinched a playoff spot. This is why I did it. I want to be here. I want to play in these games. I want to have these opportunities. I want to do it with this organization and these guys. That takes some strong belief. That takes strong belief in John Sherman. That takes strong belief in J.J. Piccolo and his staff. That takes strong belief in you, the fan base. This is a place that I want to be, I want to commit to, and I want to attach myself to. And he is playing in his first postseason game at Kauffman Stadium today. We saw what he did in his first postseason game in Camden Yards. He now gets an opportunity a week later to do that same thing in Kansas City, and the place that he has committed the rest of his career to. And the last people that I think today is about, I think it's about us. I think today is about me. I think today is about you. I think today is about our city and our community and our love of sports. I don't care what the Chiefs have done over the course of the last 6 or 7 years, and they have hit the absolute height that you can hit in American sports. Everything they do gets compared to what the Royals did in 14 and 15. Every accolade, every accomplishment, every parade that they have is always compared to that first run that we remember in 14 and 15. The 14 and 15 Royals have a cloud over this city and a hang over this city that no other team has. And we have seen some incredible Chiefs teams. They do not have the hold on the city the way that 14 and 15 does. Some of you have not bought new Royals apparel in over a decade because of your love of the 14 and 15 Royals. You still have that Always October hoodie, that postseason hoodie, that World Series hat with the patch on it. The 14 and 15 Royals hold a very special place, and today is a celebration of it being a decade or almost a decade since they won the World Series, but a decade since really all of this stuff started. And that hope, that glimmer, the possibility that we could be in the middle of another one of those kinds of runs. I don't know how this season is going to end for the Royals. Maybe it ends against the Yankees. Maybe it ends in the American League Championship Series. Maybe this team goes on to win the World Series. But I think when you're in the middle of it, you realize how different postseason baseball is than the NFL playoffs. And the NFL playoffs are glorious. And the Royals are going to play 4 times this week. They played on Monday. They play today. They play tomorrow. They might play on Saturday. That's different than how football is. Football is episodic. It is one time a week. You schedule it. This is something that you are in the middle of every single day, and you ride the wave and emotion of it. Yesterday, one of our producers came in and he asked me, what do you think is so special about the baseball postseason? It's the fact that it can change at any moment. We all love the NFL. You never really get the sense on 2nd and 3 that the game is going to be changed by this play. Every pitch in baseball could be a big hit or an error or a home run or something that drastically changes the probability of who's going to win the game. And you kind of forget that when you just have regular season games. But man, once the lights come on and the intensity and the crowd and the energy and the emotion kicks in, it becomes one of the best sports that you can watch. It's been incredibly fun so far. I'm expecting a great crowd later tonight. I'm expecting a great game between 2 really fun and competitive teams. Coming up on the other side, we'll head to Kauffman Stadium to be joined by Josh Vernier. We'll get his thoughts ahead of Game 3 of tonight's game between the Royals and the Yankees. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Our Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on Valspar Reserve or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Infinity or Showcase Interior Paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Whether you're painting one accent wall or want to freshen up a whole room, we've got you covered. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm here with Ryan Manning of Manning Roofing. We all know when a storm comes through, there may be a knock at your door with somebody trying to repair your roof.
Inexperienced guys will be out and getting homeowners to open up claims. A lot of the times they don't show up for those adjustments. Photo takers might not document everything, and when the file examiner takes a look at it, it ends up in a denied claim or a partial. Give us a call. We'll go from there.
Do what we did and set up your appointment today at manninggc.com or 816-448-8208. The choice is simple. It's Manning Roofing.
Hey, Mike Valenti here, host of Cash the Ticket alongside my partner, Jim Costa. It's really simple. Are you tired of podcasts claiming they're a bunch of pro bettors when they live in their mommy's basement? Are you tired of podcasts that claim they hit 80% of the games when really they just lose like most of us? Then Cash the Ticket's the spot for you. We're real, we're transparent, we're having a hell of a good time with it, and we sit there and we're there for the sweat with you guys. We're just trying to figure it out just like you. Follow and listen to Cash the Ticket on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navien's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome to your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I don't ever want to be in a position where you guys know what to expect on the show. You got to keep them guessing. You got to keep them on your toes. I know that you guys were expecting us to do the random lineup in the last segment. No. Josh Vernier, you know what? We're going to do the random lineup with you today. This was the lineup the last time that the Royals had a postseason game at Kauffman Stadium. Hit me, Rob.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
This was Game 2 of the 2015 World Series, the last time Kauffman Stadium hosted a postseason game. Here is your lineup for the Royals that day. Leading off at shortstop, Alcides Escobar.
Vern, you want to know what I love about this? I love that every analytic and every metric told you, please don't do that. The Royals did it anyway, and it just worked for like 2 years.
They took him out of the lineup in September, and the team tanked. They put Gordo at the top. They had Zobrist at the top for a while, and then Ned said, this ain't working. Let's get back to what works.
Yeah, let's do it.
Batting second, the second baseman, Ben Zobrist.
I loved Ben Zobrist. You always talk about, Vern, a guy who has a professional at-bat. There was nobody on that team who had more professional at-bats than Ben Zobrist. The 2015 Royals do not win the World Series if they don't trade for Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zobrist, to me, was the playoff MVP. He had 10 extra base hits in that postseason alone. Zobrist was outstanding.
And that's back when his wife loved him. Batting third in center field.
F her, man. F her.
I actually have a picture of me, Danny, and Ben Zobrist's wife.
Oh, she's the devil, man.
You know
she's the devil.
You know what? Just for today, I might make that my Twitter avatar. I might make that my picture for today, man.
No, we don't. No, that's bad. That's bad karma. She is the devil.
Batting third at center field, Lorenzo Cain.
What a season for Lorenzo Cain, man. You want to talk about playing your best baseball when your team needs it most? Lorenzo Cain that year was incredible.
It was the straw that stirred the drink. It was his injury that ultimately, hindered the team from making the postseason again. Him and Wade Davis getting banged up in 2016, to me, that was a wrap.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Kendrys Morales.
Who would you say is the Kendrys Morales for this team?
Well, there isn't a switch hitter like Kendrys on this team, but the best at-bats, I would say, is Yuli Gurriel right now. It would be Vinny if he was healthy, but Vinny too banged up. So Yuli's giving you that, and a fellow Cuban giving you that outstanding plate appearance.
Batting sixth at third base, Mike Moustakas.
What a day. Yo, where's the guy who used to bring the antlers to the game? Is he coming to the game today? He's got to be at the game today.
I haven't seen that guy. He would cruise through Kauffman's parking lot with his Jeep, always wearing those moose gloves and holding up those antlers. I mean, you can't just put those out to the curb when you're done with them. You don't just throw away moose antlers, do you? They gotta be somewhere.
No, you can't do this. You know what? I bet he's not the only person. Some people, tonight's game is going to be the first time they've been at Kauffman Stadium probably since this game.
C-Dot, I can't tell you, every night on the post game for about 2 weeks, it's, hey, Vern, haven't listened to your show in 10 years, man. Nice to be back. No, you're gonna see a lot of people. You're like, hey, man, good to see you. Hopefully, obviously, you're doing well.
By the way, you can't bring in an unopened water bottle, but Moose Antler guy walked through security, no issue.
100%. 100%. That is crazy.
Batting seventh, the catcher, Salvador Perez.
It's so wild to me that Salvador Perez was in that lineup and in the lineup today. It's still. Think about how many guys from that team are just not in baseball anymore. Salvi's still one of the 5 best catchers in the league a decade later.
He's better now than he was then. He's better at 34 than he was at 24. It's amazing.
Wow.
Batting eighth.
You called him Jay-Z.
Right.
Batting eighth, the left fielder, Alex Gordon.
This might have been the last good Alex Gordon we got. This was definitely the end. This was the end. This was the last Alex Gordon we got. I'm telling you, Alex Gordon hit that home run. It was over after that, man. It was done.
Hey, man. Bank account doing well.
Oh, it was whenever it was good with Alex, boy, it was great.
Oh, man. It's all good now.
And your 9-hitter that day in right field, Alex Rios.
Now I don't have to ask you who's the Alex Rios of this team. They got about 5 candidates for that.
Yeah.
They got a lot
they
of
certainly
guys.
do.
They got a lot
Alex
of
Rios,
guys.
though, that's a cool dude, though. That's a smooth brother.
Oh, 100%. That was our random lineup. That was the lineup the last time that the Royals hosted a playoff game. Vern, what is it like to be back in this environment and just knowing what the next 4-5 hours are going to be? I was talking to a Royals employee earlier today. He told me that they are anticipating 41,000 people being out at the game today. So standing rooms, like they're going to pack in as many people into that stadium. What is it like? You've been out there from some of the nights where it was maybe 6,000-8,000 people out there. Now, a decade later, we're talking about, this is the hottest ticket in sports right now, it feels like.
Yeah, it's wild. Obviously, playing the Yankees has a lot to do with it. It's just so different. I guess maybe it's similar to ALCS, maybe that ALDS Game 3 in 2014. It's, every person that I've passed so far at Kauffman Stadium, the workers that I see every day, the people that I make the strongest relationships with out here at the stadium, we're all just looking at each other like, can you believe that we're back? 2014, no, it wasn't surprising that we were here to play a wild card game. They were a winning team in 2013. They should be a winning team in 2014. Now, to win the wild card game, to win those extra inning affairs in Anaheim, okay, maybe there was some surprise when the boys got back for Game 3 against the Angels, but nothing like this. They've been on the road for 16, 17 days. Honestly, man, I think the crowd's big tonight. Not only have these guys been going nonstop for 8 months now, but again, a 2.5-week road trip. I've heard plenty of former players and broadcasters tell me, it's not the day you get back from a long road trip where you're grinding. It's the next day. It's after you come home and your dad and husband and you clean up around the house and you get a night's sleep in your own bed. It's the next day where that grind, that fatigue really starts to set in. So I understand it's the playoffs and these guys have their childhood dreams right in front of them, but there will be a player or two whose fuel tank is low. That's where the 41,000 needs to be gasoline tonight.
Right now, we're talking to our guy, Josh Verner. Vern, do you agree, and you were in the middle of this, the Chiefs have had an incredible run, maybe as great of a run of any team that we've seen this side of the New England Patriots in the last 30 years. But just living here, there is always going to be a cloud around the 14 and 15 teams. And a lot of the things that that the Chiefs have accomplished, it just gets compared to how you felt in 14 and 15. And for us to be in this same place a decade later, Eric Hosmer coming back to throw out the first pitch, his little man is coming out there to throw the first pitch with him. It really feels like time is a flat circle. And now we are back to, hey, everybody is excited about Royals baseball again for the first time in a decade.
Yeah, and that's baseball in the everyday nature of it. But it's different now because, like you mentioned, 14 and 15 are always going. 14 is always going to stand alone for anyone that was here because we're all different sports fans. We're a different sports city with the World Cup and everything else. The draft. It's just such a far cry from where Kansas City was in 2014, how we thought of ourselves as a city, as a sports city, how we thought of this organization and where they fit in Major League Baseball. where the Chiefs were and where they fit in the National Football League. Now, Kansas City walks into every season, every sport, every team and says, are you winning? If yes, we'll make more noise than any other town in the country. If not, we're going to the winners, thanks but no thanks. So I just don't think we'll ever be able to recreate what 2014 felt like around the city. But I'll tell you this, if this team can take care of the Yankees, I see Detroit right now on top of Cleveland 1-0 in the second inning. If that ALCS happens at Kauffman Stadium, I think then we'll get as close to 2014 as we've been, because the way that the fan base knew everything about Hosmer and Moustakas and Salvi, and they watched them all grow up. Obviously, that can't happen with this team with so many new faces, guys that have been here for 2 months or 4 months or 6 months. Not a lot of homegrown talent, certainly not as much as there was back in 2014. But you win on this stage. You've had enough people finding Royals baseball on TBS or on the HBO Max app, whatever it might be. Those relationships, I think, are beginning to form. You're starting to learn the intricacies of each one of these players and those bonds, right? The Michael Garcia fan club is back. There's a Vinny Pasquantino fan club. Kyle Isbell, Michael Massey's growing his fan base. Angel Zerpa, right? It's no longer come see Bobby and Salvi and a bunch of guys you never heard of. Now those relationships are starting to grow, I feel, at least.
Right now we're talking to our Royals insider, Josh Vern. He will be on the show every day as long as baseball season is still ongoing. You mentioned Salvi and Bobby. I led the show with this earlier today. I think today is a lot about Salvador Perez, who has had the opportunity to walk away numerous times. Last year, if Salvi accepts a trade, I don't think anybody in Kansas City faults him for doing it, but he has never wavered in, I want to play for the Royals. You follow this game very closely, Vern. I mean, players just don't really do what Bobby Witt Jr. did. They don't give up free agency. Everybody almost always sees free agency, sees what's out there, and then eventually moves on to a bigger market. The fact that when presented with the opportunity of, hey, you can go play for the Yankees, you can go play for the Rangers, both of those guys chose to stay in Kansas City because they knew that this day was going to come sooner rather than later. And Salvi has certainly been here through thick and thin. And Bobby Witt Jr., I mean, it feels like just yesterday you were saying, hey, this guy's got a chance to be the next Patrick Mahomes. And now 2 years later, he's one of the 5 best baseball players on the planet, and he's set to make his postseason debut at Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, the Bobby offseason contract is obviously a testament to him and his family and what's important to him, no doubt about it. Also, right, he wasn't broke growing up, so he, and I hate to say that the contract, $300 million, is a hometown deal, but yeah, after this season, Bobby could ask for the moon, right? $400, $500, $600 million after putting up an MVP type of campaign. But also, it's a reflection on ownership in the front office. I think that's something that I'm not expecting the 41,000 in attendance tonight to consider, but everything that JJ and John Sherman said they would do to Bobby, to Salvi, they've done, right? An evaluation season where we grind through 106 losses, abide by the results, and the Royals front office certainly did that. As far as Salvi, now, the organization has always done, for the most part, a really good job of taking care of Salvi, and he's returned that favor. You mentioned he had opportunities to walk away, whether that's, via a trade, not sign an extension, wait for a free agent. He also had the opportunity to walk away in a meaningless game in August in 2018 or 2021 or 2023. He could have easily gone to the training staff and said, you know what's bothering me? Pick one of them and put me on the IL. My knee, my shoulder, my back, my concussion, whatever it might be. Pick one of my many injuries and put me on the IL. I want 2 weeks off. I'm sick of losing with these, awful pitchers that you're making me catch and the brutal defense that we have in front of me. But no. Now, Salvi never did that. Salvi continued to pressure Ned Yost and Mike Matheny and Matt Quatrero to try and play every single day, and he did so with a smile, with the fans and their entertainment and the opportunity that he has as a 34-year-old man out of Venezuela. He never lost sight of the opportunity and who he's playing for. Not just his family, but also the fans. Yeah, no doubt about it. Tonight is about Salvi, and that will be, without question, the biggest pop you hear at Kauffman Stadium when his name is announced a little after 5:40.
Vern, let's talk about tonight's game specifically. I think this game kind of boils down to the pitching matchup. On one side, you have an all-star in Seth Lugo. The other side, you have Clark Schmidt, who, I mean, he's only gone 6 innings just 2 times this season. He hasn't done that since May 16th. I mean, if momentum is only as strong as your next day starting pitcher, the Royals have maybe the biggest advantage that any team has today in Major League Baseball with their starter going up against the other team. Maybe you could argue the Padres because the Dodgers have no clue who their pitcher is tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point with Seth Lugo. Clark Schmidt does have quality stuff, or else Aaron Boone wouldn't be going to him. But obviously, Boone will pull the ripcord quickly because he has another starter in that bullpen, like the Royals do with Singer. The Yankees have a hard-throwing righty who was, in my opinion, the American League Rookie of the Year for the first half of the season in Luis Gil. The thing is with Clark Schmidt is if he can quiet the mechanism, right? If he can silence the 41,000 and execute his pitches, his arsenal's good enough to give New York 4 or 5 quality innings and keep them in this game. But for a young man, 28, but for a young man making his postseason, well, not his postseason debut, but his first starts in the postseason, to do so at Kauffman Stadium in the city's first playoff game in 9 years, that first inning could get bumpy. And with Bobby and Salvi due up in the first, that could be all she wrote. So if that cutter and sweeper and curve and all that stuff with action that Clark Schmidt is throwing, if he's not finding the zone and the Royals can lay off, make them come to you, if the Royals offense can do just that, this thing could get loud and Clark Schmidt's night could end very quickly.
What do you think of the decision for Adam Frazier to be included in the lineup? I know that he doesn't have a postseason at bat so far, but of all the players on this team, he has had the most success against Clark Schmidt. Is that too small of a sample size, or do you think Q's kind of playing a hunch here and kind of rolling with, I don't want to say the hot hand, but, I mean, certainly the matchup is in Frazier's favor?
Right, and this season, lefties have fared better against Schmidt for his career, even more so. And listen, it's not as if, he hit a home run off of him 3 years ago. No, he faced him twice last season as he played in the American League East with the Orioles and had, like you mentioned, quite a bit of success against him. He's been a fine defensive right fielder and hitting in the 8 spot tonight. He maybe sees 2 at-bats. And you see him hitting between, you have Kyle Isbell in there, MJ Melendez in there. You have Michael Massey, a lot of lefties. So you would imagine late in the game, Tim Hill is going to come out of that Yankees bullpen. And Adam Frazier's likely pinch hit for a big swinging bat in Tommy Pham or Hunter Renfroe. So, yeah, why not? Listen, this is what Q's done all season. He's, as he said at his introductory press conference, we're looking for the 51-49%. We're always going to err on the side of the 51% and hope that the numbers work out for us.
Right now, we're talking to our guy, Josh Vernier. We talk about the pitching matchup. We looked at it through the Yankees perspective. How do you think Seth Lugo fits against this Yankees lineup? He's had a lot of success against a majority of their lineup, but that's the regular season. This is the postseason. It's always a different beast. Managers are usually a little bit quicker to give the hook in these scenarios than they are in the regular season. How do you feel about Seth Lugo today? And let's say in the first, 10 pitches, maybe first inning, when will you know if Seth Lugo has his good stuff today?
Oh, boy. Well, as far as how I feel about Seth Lugo, I feel exactly how you described it, that the Royals have the most stark pitching advantage in all of Major League Baseball today. Yankees have done a great job of, like I mentioned, forcing the pitcher to come to them. They've done a great job of drawing walks. Now, I understand the Royals have issued a few that were not necessarily earned by New York batters, but Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, you better be careful with those guys. And Seth Lugo has shown the ability to paint all season long, right? Bobby Witt Jr. calls him the surgeon, the way that he's dicing up opponents with his dozen different pitches. So I feel great about Seth Lugo. He was outstanding when he faced this team in New York just about a month ago. And, with the crowd on his side, Lugo's not one that I think is going to let the pressure get the best of him. You look at how he performed in Baltimore. He was good. He was fine. He certainly wasn't great, but he was anything but average. He was still well above average, holding the Orioles to 1 run. Q will not, obviously, as you saw with Walker and Reagan, he won't hesitate to go to that bullpen. But I look at Lugo as a guy tonight that could see Juan Soto and Aaron Judge a third time, because with that arsenal, with that many different pitches, just because you saw my good slider and sweeper in the first doesn't mean I even need to go back to those pitches when I see you again in the 6th inning. I feel great about Seth Lugo tonight. Also feel a lot better knowing that if he is just good, suddenly that Royals bullpen is quite the strength.
Vern, give me your key for the Yankees today. Give me your key for the Royals. I'm taking the Royals. Maybe this is just a bias. I just think at home, and you're going to give me the pitching advantage. And I also think that the talent between these two teams, and it seems crazy to think it's maybe not as big as I thought it was coming into this series. Like, these two teams look fairly even to me. And with the uncertainty around Aaron Judge in the postseason, I just don't know how much I can rely on that Yankees lineup. I'm going to give the Royals a slight edge in today's game. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm certainly there. I'm giving the Royals the edge. I think last time I checked, it's not plus odds tonight, so the Royals are as favored as they've been so far in this series. The key to tonight's game, in my opinion, for the Royals, it's going to be base running. I think Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., and this team's ability to take the extra 90 feet in this ballpark will be the difference for Kansas City. Vice versa, the way that the Yankees win this game is by wearing out the opposite field. If they're sitting back doing what they were doing at the Bronx, swinging for the fences, it's going to be a long day. And stringing together base hits against Seth Lugo is no easy feat, but if you're trying to get big against a guy that's attempting to use your ego against you, you're going to look like a fool up there in the box. So if the Yankees can play some small ball, hit to the opposite field, I know Soto and Judge can do it. I know Austin Wells can do it. We'll see if a guy like Jazz Chisholm, Giancarlo Stanton, Alex Verdugo, we'll see if they can take what Lugo gives them. If so, this will be another classic in the latter innings.
Are you a frozen lemonade guy or a frozen malt guy?
Neither one. No. If I'm getting something cold, I'm going to get the ice cream with 2 cookies where it's like an ice cream sandwich. I'm going to get one of those bad boys.
That is our guy, Josh Vern. You're joining us on the show today. Vern, man, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Absolutely. That is Josh Vern. You're joining us on the show. We will talk to him every day remaining in baseball season. Keep it right here. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
My name is Michael, and I am a Centric graduate. I was burnt out at my sales job and just going through the motions. I decided it was finally time to stop putting it off and make a change in my life. Centric's hands-on training and FAST program was the step that I needed. I graduated with the certifications and real-world experience to get a career in tech. I got a job and haven't looked back, only to a better future. Don't put it off any longer. Visit Centric.com to take control of your future. That's Centric.com.
You've been waiting, and now is the time. Golden Oak Lending has fixed mortgage rates at 4.875%. But don't wait, this rate won't last forever. Call today and take advantage of our low 4.875 fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
5.784 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. Build out a same-game parlay for Thursday Night Football between the Niners and the Seahawks. How about DK Metcalf to go over his receiving yards, Kenneth Walker for an anytime touchdown, and Brock Purdy to go over his passing total? Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to make every moment more this season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
We hear a lot from our patients after we've successfully treated their erectile dysfunction. But one thing we hear the most is, why didn't I get treated sooner? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you're suffering with ED and all the emotional and relationship problems it causes, don't wait. Call us today. ED is simply a medical condition like any other. And for most men, it's fully treatable, which means you can get your sex life back. And I'm not talking about sex that's just okay, by the way. I'm talking about good sex with the ability to enjoy intimacy without the anxiety that affects so many men who have ED. In fact, you might find you're performing like you haven't in years. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated thousands of men with protocols that are successful in well over 90% of cases. And we have a variety of treatments and treatment combinations so you can get the one that's right for you. So stop waiting and call us. Your first visit includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
It's the best time of the year. It's tailgate season, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time at Hy-Vee's Wine and Spirits department. This week is the perfect time to stock up and save on wine, beer, seltzer, and spirits during Hy-Vee's Thirsty Thursday sale. This Thursday only, get a 50-cent Fuel Saver discount for every $50 you spend on beer, wine, hard seltzer, and spirits. I love seeing the price at the pump go down when I use my Fuel Saver card. Don't miss Thirsty Thursdays only at Hy-Vee. Offer valid at Kansas City area Missouri stores only.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 83.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
Welcome to your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up in about 15 to 20 minutes or so, Rex Hudler is going to join us on the show. There is nobody to better get you excited for Game 3 of the ALDS between the Royals and the Yankees and our dear friend Rex Hudler. He will be on the show coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Rob, I am curious to get your thoughts on this to see if you agree or if your thoughts are aligned with me. To me, this game isn't as much about Bobby Witt Jr. We'll talk more specifically about him, how he's just off to a slow start in the series. It's not necessarily also about Aaron Judge, who has gotten off to a slow start. I think that this game it's really about Clark Schmidt. This is a really pivotal game, a really important game for the New York Yankees. And you were throwing somebody out there who you don't think has the ability to go deep into this game. So it's really twofold. It's you don't think that your starter is going to go very deep in this game. He has only pitched into the 6th inning 3 times this year and hasn't done so since May. So that's not what he is. I mean, his last 5 appearances, 4 innings, 5 1/3, 5 innings, 5 2/3, 4 2/3. He hasn't pitched since September 29th. So you're talking about a little bit of a gap between this. Is there a little rust? Are you sharp? What do you look like in here? And the Royals have clearly built their lineup around who's starting for the Yankees today. Adam Frazier has not started a game yet. I don't believe he's had an at-bat so far in this postseason. He's starting today because of the success that he's had against Clark Schmidt. He is 4 for 8. He has a home run, also has 2 doubles. Yuli Gurriel also hit a home run against him a couple of years ago. Like, the Royals are, I think, prepared for Clark Schmidt today, and their plan is to try to beat him up as early as they can in this and try to get to that Yankees lineup. There is no day off tomorrow. So how does that affect how you're going to handle your bullpen? Are you going to bring a guy out there to pitch 2, maybe 2 1/3 innings, knowing that there isn't that off day between game 3 and game 4 the way there is for game 5? There's sort of the game within the game and the strategy about how you want to manage this series over the next 2, possibly 4 days of this series. But how the Yankees and how the Royals handle Clark Schmidt, I think that is the storyline for today's game.
I think it's the game within the game, because you said it there at the end perfectly. The Royals are playing tomorrow. There is a game the next day. There's no off day. So if you can, rattle Schmidt or, get some runs off Schmidt, if you can force the Yankees' hand to pull Schmidt early, there is a cumulative effect. What happens today could affect tomorrow in a positive light for the Royals. The inverse is true, too. If Schmidt is out there and he's cruising along and he goes 6-7, and it looks like game 2 did for the Yankees, and they bring 2 guys, or game 1, bring a couple guys out of the pen and they move on, that puts you in a bad spot tomorrow. Like, I know it's because we bet on it, but we were watching Aaron Nola against the Mets yesterday, and we were both saying, you can't pitch him in the 5th. Even though he's only giving up 2, you knew, he's rattled, he's going to have hard hit balls. There was a sense, there was a feel, he's not ready for the next inning. Maybe the Royals don't score 7 off Schmidt, but if you can get him rattled and get a feel of, hey, we can't trust him out there in the 5th or 6th, and you can get him pulled early, there is a cumulative effect that could really help this team down the line.
And I think in line with what you just said, that goes into game 4 with Garrett Cole. If you can turn this into a bullpen game, and let's say you get Schmidt run in the 3rd inning, and now they really have to tax that bullpen, how do you handle Garrett Cole tomorrow if you also get into trouble? I mean, the Royals' chance of winning this series, I would say right now their best chance of winning this series, and it's always a moving target because the series is always evolving, it's how do you handle Clark Schmidt today? Does he go 4 2/3 and you get 4 earned runs off him, and now your bullpen, your crowd is into it, and you can really pounce, and then you take the advantage, and then tomorrow you have an opportunity where you just got to win one more game to advance to the next round of the postseason? Or does Clark Schmidt come out there and perform really well? He have a really good start. He gives you 5 1/3, maybe gets to 6 innings here. He has a really good start. And then I would say in some ways the advantage shifts back to the New York Yankees. I mean, we hear these stats all the time about game 3 and how pivotal they are. I mean, in a best of 5 series, the reason that the Royals are in this spot is because they broke home field advantage. They were able to go on the road and beat the Yankees in game 2. You can't now turn around and give that advantage back and allow the Yankees to win game 3. And now they got 2 chances to win 1.
100% agree. And you and Vern have said it. Everyone have said it. No offense to Schmidt, but the Royals have an all-star on the mound today. The Royals have a guy that me and you in June had a conversation on the show. Hey, is this a Cy Young candidate type of guy? And yeah, he won't win the award. He fell off a little bit in the second half, but he still had a very good season. The saying in baseball is you're only as good as the next day starter. The Royals' next day starter is better than the Yankees. You broke home field. You have a chance to put their backs against the wall heading into a game. It doesn't matter if Garrett Cole on the mound. Their backs are against the wall. You need to take advantage of the advantage you have in this game, and it's more than just getting Schmidt to fret. It's Seth Lugo needs to be the Seth Lugo we saw in May, the Seth Lugo we saw in April. I mean, I know it was the White Sox, but in August, he threw a complete game. He needs to be that version tonight, and maybe the Yankees start squeezing the bat a little tighter because they feel they're up against the wall.
Earlier, we asked Vern about this, about the decision to include Frazier in the lineup. Here's what Vern said.
Lefties have fared better against Schmidt for his career, even more so. And listen, it's not as if, he hit a home run off of him 3 years ago. No, he faced him twice last season as he played in the American League East with the Orioles and had, like you mentioned, quite a bit of success against him. He's been a fine defensive right fielder and hitting in the 8 spot tonight. He maybe sees 2 at-bats. And you see him hitting between, you have Kyle Isbell in there, MJ Melendez in there. You have Michael Massey, a lot of lefties. So you would imagine late in the game, Tim Hill is going to come out of that Yankees bullpen, and Adam Frazier's likely pinch hit for a big swinging bat in Tommy Pham or Hunter Renfroe. So, yeah, why not? Listen, this is what Q's done all season. As he said at his introductory press conference, we're looking for the 51-49%. We're always going to err on the side of the 51% and hope that the numbers work out for us.
So that was Josh Vernier, who was on the show earlier today talking about the decision to start Adam Frazier. He is 4 for 8. He has hit a home run, also has 2 doubles off of the Yankee starter today in Clark Schmidt. I mean, he is, I think, arguably the worst starter that is pitching today in the postseason. We still don't know about the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers have not announced who is pitching for them today. And for a team that needs to win today in order to prolong their season, the fact that the Dodgers have no clue who their starting pitcher is going to be is certainly very interesting. All right, for those of you that are going out to Kauffman Stadium, I want to share with you coming up at the top of the hour what a Royals employee told me earlier today based on how many people they are expecting out at the game. And, Rob, Aramark is announcing a couple of new food options out at Kauffman Stadium. You know we love to play this game. Is this something that you would eat? I know it is going to be a great crowd out there. It's going to be a very, very special environment out at Kauffman Stadium. I think all of us are hoping for, expecting a Royals win today over the New York Yankees. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll tell you what new food options they're going to have at the K tonight, and we'll continue to get you ready for Game 3 of the postseason. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is a special report from the Missouri Lottery. Please do not attempt to put giant checks in the bank's pneumatic tubes. You will be provided with a bank-compatible check or just cash. The Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Well, it's an election year, so everybody's talking about trust. Talk is cheap. Trust is earned. This is Gene at House of Diamonds. And just like it's better to judge candidates by their history instead of their promises, the same is true for jewelers. The guys who once sold lab diamonds for thousands of dollars with a straight face are now literally giving them away and want you to trust them when they say this month's once-in-a-lifetime sell is better than last month's, or that there's such a thing as free financing. Look, trust is earned over time. In our case, over 30 years. And is as precious as the real diamonds, gemstones, and custom jewelry here at House of Diamonds. It's why we still personally design and handcraft all the custom jewelry we sell. Trust is earned by delivering on promises and exceeding expectations. That's what we do every day at House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
The nightmare stories are all too common with home services companies. Shoddy workmanship, subpar materials, or everyone's favorite, getting halfway done with the job and taking a 2-month break. So, if you need to replace your windows, siding, or doors, you could spend hours online researching companies. Or you can start with the perfect company and call Thermo King. With over 25 years selling and installing energy-efficient windows, James Hardie siding, and the most beautiful entry doors available, Thermo King will make your home project hassle-free and easy. Their triple glass replacement windows will save you money on your energy bills. Their James Hardie siding will last decades, and their entry doors will make your guests say, "Holy cow!" Right now, you can save thousands on replacement windows, siding, or a new entryway door. Great financing plans are available to make paying for your project easy. Get the process started today. 888-KING-WIN or online at thermokingwindows.com.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Our Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on Valspar Reserve or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Infinity or Showcase Interior Paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Whether you're painting one accent wall or want to freshen up a whole room, we've got you covered. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Vern's On Deck show starts at 5. First pitch just after 6 for Game 3 of the ALDS right here on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes, Rex Hudler is going to join us on the show. The Royals also have a handful of new food options. They are debuting today for the postseason. We'll go through them, and we will give them a thumbs up and thumbs down if they are something that we would try. So I know that you guys are worried about me and will I go to the game today. Rob, I do not think I'm going to be in attendance. I had an opportunity to get tickets to the game at a regular fair price. I missed my opportunity because I didn't show nearly enough faith and belief in the Royals. Now I'm looking at the ticket prices, and it's gone crazy. Everybody hates scalpers until it's time for them to be a scalper, and now they're out here trying to hit you over the head. So you know what? I just determined it's going to be me. It's going to be the Royals, and it's going to be this guy locked in at 6 o'clock.
Hit to short. Witt gets the force. Can they turn 2? Yes, they can, and it's just the point we were making. It's not Giancarlo's fault. A near base hit. Couldn't beat it out at the other end.
How
Turns
dare
into
you
a double
hit
play.
It out, Giancarlo Stanton. How dare you do that? It's not your fault you hit into a double play. It's somebody else's fault. It's not your fault you're slow. So I will not be in attendance. This actually hurts my heart a little bit, but no one cares. To quote Kendrick Lamar, ain't nobody praying for me. It's all right. So today, the reason that when it finally hit me, I called. I was like, oh, hey, trying to see if something came through for me. It was like, well, let me see, hey, we still got those Standard room onlys if you want, but we're kind of running out. And the gentleman on the phone told me that they are expecting 41,000 people. He says that he thinks it's going to be bigger than any crowd that they had in 14 and 15 out there. And I was like, y'all packing them in today. Y'all going to get to y'all money. He was like, yeah. Then he tried to offer me a suite for tomorrow. The deal actually wasn't that bad, honestly. So this is what they told me, Rob. I called and they were telling me about today, and he had that hint of disappointment. He was like, oh, well, we're doing a deal. Well, we'll sell you a suite for $5,000. You get 20 tickets. And I was like, don't sound that bad. That might be a little bit out of my, what I'm willing to do for this divisional round matchup. But, I keep my number. We'll figure it out. I was like, hey, I got you. Hey, we'll call you up when it's time for the ALCS. I'm like, sure you will. And I hung up the phone. But I wanted to at least pass that information to you guys because I want you to go to the game and I want you to have fun for me. I want you to cheer for me. I want you to wave the little towels they're going to give you. I want you to cheer on Eric and Jack. I want you to do it for me. I want you to do it for Rob. As we're at home watching on the TV, we're so sad about it. But you know what? That's fine. I'm going to push through. I will survive this. I will be back. But the reason I'm hurt more than anything, it's not because it's, going to be a great game or anything. It's because I won't get the opportunity to try some of these amazing food options from Aramark. When I think of dining at the absolute highest of levels, the Eddie V's, the Capitol Grills, the Michelin star restaurants, right up there is Aramark, known for their high quality, taste, and creativity. So let's go through some of the great food options for those of you that are going to the game today. Go stop by the Craft and Draft and also pick up some of these delicious treats. Hit it, Rob.
All right, Carrington, let's start with one that is available at Craft and Draft or the Diamond Club tonight. It is the PSL Pizza available
Hold on
for
really quick.
postseason.
If you got Diamond Club tickets for today, what are you doing for a living? You had to sell your firstborn to be in the Diamond Club for today. What you got going on?
Or you're a season ticket holder.
Yeah, what kind of illegal activity you got going on to be in the Diamond Club today?
This is perfect for the postseason, the PSL Pizza. It's in-house pizza dough topped with pumpkin pie filling, cinnamon streusel, and a mascarpone espresso drizzle. It is basically a pumpkin pie pizza. Carrington, I know you're eating this if you're at the K tonight.
Next! I'm not even letting it get off the bus. Like, instantly when I see you. Next! A pumpkin pie pizza? Now, if it was sweet potato pie, maybe we could have a conversation about it. But a pumpkin pie? I never had no pumpkin pie before. No, absolutely not. You're telling me you're walking past the hot dog, you're walking past the bratwurst to pick up some pumpkin pie pizza at the game? You should be removed. Next food.
We'll stay in the sweet lane before we get to savory. This is available at Craft and Draft. It's called Back to Blueberry. It's 2 funnel cakes, which will be used as buns.
Okay, all right, hold on. You kind of got me now. Okay, hold on. You might have me.
These 2 funnel cakes using as buns will be filled with a slice of cheesecake, blueberry compote, cinnamon toast crunch cereal, and caramelized bananas. It's gonna be sweet.
Hey, man. Yeah, let me go and get one of them real quick. How much is that? $32? You know what? I got it. I mean, what's $32? I mean, what's that? Of course. Give me one of those. That sounded delicious. That sounded good. On a nice fall day, you're sitting there, Royals up 2-1 in the 7th inning. You go stop by and you get you. What's the name of that?
It is the Back to Blueberry.
Back to Blueberry. All right, Back to Blueberry. All right, yeah, I'm going to give that the thumbs up. I'm going to give that the C-Dot seal of approval.
Probably too sugary for me, but to each their own. Switching to savory, if you are in Craft and Draft, you can try the Mac and Jack.
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Now we getting funky here. The Mac and Jack?
It is jalapeno brisket sausage on a brat bun, topped with mac and cheese, crispy cornbread crumbles, hot honey, green onion, and served with onion rings.
Yo, why they gotta sprinkle the cornbread on top like a garnish?
Cornbread crumble.
You know what? I like this idea. You know what? Hey, I told you, Aramark, man, their creativity. How do they come up with this stuff? They just got a whole team in the back that just comes up with these different unique concoctions. to sell them to us, that also sounds delicious.
If I'm going to Craft and Draft tonight, I'm getting a nice crispy IPA and one of these.
You ain't going to the game either. You're going to be with me on the couch watching it at home like the Orioles.
I have a front row ticket to watch Costas call the game.
You're going to be right next to me and the White Sox at home.
Oh, come on. I'm closer than the White Sox.
No, you're definitely closer to the playoffs than they are.
I can at least drive out to the stadium and sit outside. The White Sox can't do that.
No, that's fair. No, that's right.
All right, Carrington, if you're headed out to Rivals tonight, they got a new sandwich called the Batter Up Melt. It's a grilled cheese sandwich with a sliced hot dog inside of it, dunked in corn dog batter and deep fried.
That's the best one you've thrown out there so far.
This one actually surprised me that you like this.
That one sound kind of fire. That one sound good. I don't even need it to be a special occasion to eat that. Are they serving that here locally somewhere? Can I stop by a local establishment and get one of these batter up dogs? What was it again?
It is basically a grilled cheese with a hot dog inside of it, dipped in cornbread batter and deep fried.
Oh man, that sound kind of tasty. I ain't gonna lie to you. That sound kind of tasty. Yes, I'm giving that my thumbs up. Right now, I'm giving that beyond a thumbs up. I'm giving that a gold star. That's the best thing you've told me they're serving out there tonight. That should be a mainstay. Why are they getting rid of that next year? That should come back.
Where was that in August? Well, the real fans needed this thing, not these Johnny fly-by-night people that pop up for the postseason.
100%.
All right, Carrington, their final offering of the new food tonight will be available outside section 202. It is the brisket acho dog.
I certainly would be nowhere near 202. I'd be in 402. Right now, if I was going to the game, I'd be walking up that spiral. I told myself I'd never walk up that spiral again. That's where I'd be tonight, walking up the spiral.
You can stop over at 202 and get this hot dog.
Don't even let people like me go over there to 202.
This is brisket sausage, baked beans, cheesy corn, coleslaw, tortilla strips, and Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on a New England-style bun.
Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce?
That is the sauce they use at the stadium. It is an indictment on our city. We will not speak further on it.
Ray's? If I come to your function and you got Sweet Baby Ray's on the table for the barbecue sauce, I'm going to assume you're not really getting down on the grill the way you need to be getting down. Sweet Baby Ray's?
That is not the biggest problem with this thing, by the way.
What problem do you hear?
Why are there baked beans on a hot dog?
Well, that's a good point, too. I will say this. I had one of those brisket nachos one of my recent times I went to the game.
Fire every time.
And they accidentally put a little scoop of beans on there before I could stop her because I didn't know that the brisket nacho came with the beans.
A tragedy.
And I took a little dip with the beans. You get that little bean sauce. You get the cheese and the meat and all of it. I kind of had to take another bite just to make sure I forgot. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, wait, hold on. Like, this might be a little better than I thought. Maybe I have to revisit my baked bean stance. Maybe baked beans are actually delicious, and I've been depriving myself for quite some time.
Look at you, turn over a new leaf.
I mean, I haven't had any beans since then, so I don't want you to think that I don't want you to think that I've gone back. But I'm telling you, I had it, and I was like, man, hold on, that's kind of tasty. This is kind of good. I will say, Aramark, you guys did a great job here. I'm pleased with what we just heard the food options are today. If you're going out there to the game and you just want to expand your palate a little bit, you want to expand. This might be the only postseason game you go to, so you want to splurge a little bit. Go out there and get you a tall boy. I love going to pick me up a little quirk, and then you want to get one of these unique food items. They actually got some decent food options out there today. I'm always just keep it simple, though. You know what? Give me the Italian sausage with the peppers and the spicy mustard on it. Thank you. That's all. I don't need nothing else.
You don't get adventurous at the K?
If it's not what I just said, or the helmet nacho, no. If I really got money in my pocket, I'm feeling good, I might go get one of those Grinders Philly cheesesteaks out there too. That's it though. I'm not deviating too far from that. Dollar Dogs, Polish sausage, a little Italian sausage with the peppers on it, helmet nacho. Maybe I'll treat myself and I'll get the Philly cheesesteak. That's it though. But hey, some of these options, they actually did. I'm going to lie to you. Aramark, I got to salute you guys. Someone said, C-Dot, do you like Red Lobster more or Aramark? Don't ever. Red Lobster is the pinnacle of dining in this country. Don't ever compare another food entity or restaurant anywhere close to Red Lobster. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined by Rex Hudler, Royals television broadcaster Rex Hudler. There is no human being alive that can better prepare you for Game 3 than our guy Rex Hudler. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free in or out of your vehicle. We can help you find the best battery for your vehicle and budget. O'Reilly Auto Parts has batteries starting at just $79.99. Get your battery tested for free today at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here for our new friends over at Heartland Men's Health. Did you know that over half of men over the age of 50 experience erectile dysfunction, and it can also affect younger men as well? ED just isn't a medical issue. It can take a toll on your confidence and your relationship. Well, at Heartland Men's Health, they believe that ED is treatable, and their expert team is offering up solutions with a success rate of over 90%. I want you to take back control, and just for $99, your initial visit includes a medical consultation, some tests, and even a test dose. And if that doesn't work, then your visit is free for the price of on the house. So check out one of their 3 area convenient locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Men, do not settle. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
One of the marquee games, Week 6 Pro Football Sunday. Detroit, a 3-point road favorite at Dallas. The total in the game is 52.5. Now, if this goes up to 3.5, I'll be interested in grabbing the points with Dallas, but I also like the total in this game as well, and I like over 52.5. Seems like a square play at such a high number, but I think Detroit's going to be able to run the ball all over Dallas, explosive plays in the run game. And on the flip side, Dallas's offense starting to round into form a little bit here, so I like the over. Give me the over 52.5 points coming up on Sunday, Detroit and Dallas.
That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You've been waiting, and now is the time. Golden Oak Lending has fixed mortgage rates at 4.875%. But don't wait. This rate won't last forever. Call today and take advantage of our low 4.875 fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.784 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Ready to take your business to the next level? In today's fast-paced marketing world, staying ahead isn't just an option, it's essential. That's where scale marketing comes in. We don't just help you compete, we make sure you win. Whether you're looking to grow, expand, or overcome stagnation, Scale Marketing is your performance marketing partner. We specialize in helping mid-sized B2C companies with teams of over 100 thrive. Scale Marketing is a full-service agency offering expertise in performance marketing across traditional and digital platforms, creative production, and data analytics. We treat your money like it's our own, ensuring every dollar is spent with purpose and every decision is driven by data. Our knowledgeable team stays ahead of the trends, crafting strategies that align with your business goals. Partnering with Scale Marketing means gaining a dedicated strategist and a team committed to your success. If you're ready to lead the market, visit scalemarketing.com today. That's scalemarketing.com.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic is brought to you by Park and Go. Two-car crash. Southbound 35 just past 75th Street. This is closing the left lane. There is traffic stacking up behind it. And in far north Kansas City, got another two-car crash northbound 35 just past mile marker 20. This is still closing the left lane. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park and Go. Always the best service, always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services. All spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Patrick Mahomes joins CDOT every week during the season, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
It is an honor. It is a privilege to head to the phone lines right now to be joined by a dear friend of the show, a dear friend of me, and he is probably a friend of yours as the Royals get ready for their first playoff game in almost a decade. There is no person that we much rather have on this show than our next guest. Royals television broadcaster Rex Hudler joins us on the show. Hud, you there?
Oh, heck yeah, C-Dot. I am here. I am at the K, sitting in the parking lot, thrilled about sharing with our fans, with your fans, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Absolutely. Hud, let's just start with this. What did you think of the first two games of this series? The Yankees won one, the Royals won one. The Royals did go on the road and steal one. So now this is a 3-game series with the Royals having two of the remaining home games.
Well, C-Dot, I loved it. Now, we scraped a couple over the wall. I think Melendez hit one, Salvi hit one, and I think that's about it. But really, in game one, it was all about getting on and stealing a base, moving him over, and getting him in. And what better can you do? Can you ask for that? Now, look, we've had 31 singles in the postseason. That's by far most by any team, and maybe just a handful of homers. And on MLB Network, my good friend Casey Sean Casey was kind of a little bit sneering at that, saying, well, the Royals, in order for them to complete the win against the Yankees, they're going to have to go deep. And I totally disagreed with my friend. How you score runs, it don't matter how they cross the plate. Whether you hit them over the wall or whether you bunch a bunch of singles together. I'll take our style of ball in the postseason because when you're facing great pitching, C-Dot, they pitch underneath home run bats. A lot of power teams have a hard time winning the World Series because they can't find another way to score runs without their big swings. We've got pitching. We've got Lugo and Waka here to start these last two games here, and they could have the ability to pitch under their bats if they're on their game, and we can get theirs with our lousy singles, believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of a problem right now that's happening with the Yankees, where if you're not going to get home runs from Juan Soto or Stanton and Aaron Judge, who just got off to a really rough start in the series, I mean, their offense was completely neutralized. And now coming to this game, you're talking about you're going up against an all-star pitcher and you're going to a less hitter-friendly ballpark. It could be another lean night for the Yankees offensively.
Oh, there's no question. Let's hope that's the case. C-Dot, I was talking with just now, I was inside talking with somebody, a very high-ranking official with the Yankees, and they were saying that all year long, we haven't had anybody that could pitch to Soto, to that kid, number 2 hitter, and to Judge, and no one really has pitched them like you guys have. So let's just hope that continues, and we stay under the bats, and then we score early. I like it with Garcia at the top of the lineup, the first four hitters. Watch for them, and Junior to get back to his ways. Cracks me up. Jennifer was watching me the other night. We were at the Arrowhead, watching the Chiefs shellac the Saints, and I was streaming the game, and she was watching Junior swinging some pitches that he normally doesn't swing at. I said, honey, it's a big moment. It's in the biggest stage in the world, and he might be a little tight. She goes, I saw you swing at those pitches every night. I told her, honey, I'm not Bobby Witt Jr., but it's so good to know that these guys are due and they'll come alive, especially here at the K with all the great fans we're going to have tonight.
Hud, what is it, I guess, like to get yourself out of a slump? Because right now, these two teams feel very even. I know on paper, payroll, big market, small market, that's not what the perception would be. But watching the first 18 innings of this series, it feels like it's anybody's game. It feels like which one of these teams can get either their superstar going, whether it's the Royals with Bobby Witt Jr. or Aaron Judge for the Yankees. It seems like which one of these sides can get their star going, that team's going to have the advantage. When you're in a slump like those two guys, what do you need to do? How do you get yourself out of it?
And you just hope that other guys around you are carrying the load until you get going. That's all you can do. We witnessed that this summer here, especially the last month, how that hitting virus hit, and we just couldn't buy a run. Nobody could get anybody across. No one could move a runner. And then we snapped out of it. So that's probably what will happen here with the two star players, the MVP of the American League, the two best. And C-Dot, while we're on that subject, Major League Baseball's got to really dig themselves. That the two best outside of Shohei, and you can put Shohei in this league. I don't know him like I know Judge and I know Junior. They are quality human beings outside of great baseball players. They put team first. There is never, ever me, or I involved in any of their sentences after games or before games. It's all about us and we and they and we will. I mean, when you're a class act like these two people, and then Shohei is the same way. I mean, baseball is going good right now. On all the wild card games, almost all the series are even. It's so exciting and so fun, and it's been a great finish. But those two star players at Kauffman Stadium tonight and tomorrow night battling against each other, that's the marquee matchup. I can't wait till it happens. And then, again, some expert analysis I'll give you. We score more runs than they do, we win.
Right now, we're joined by Rex Hudler, Royals television broadcaster, getting you ready for Game 3 between the Royals and the Yankees. Hud, what boost have you seen Vinny provide this lineup?
It's been more mental than anything else. When you got your guy and you got your daddy back, one of your young guys, and he's one of your guys, you already have a swagger. I didn't get a hit in Game 1, but he sure did in Game 2, and he got some things going. in New York, it's big. I mean, now they're back to full strength to what we saw earlier in the season of get them on, get them over, and get them in. You know, you get a runner at third base, less than 2 outs, and Vinny's up. That's an automatic sac fly. It automatic scores that run. And let's just hope that happens. Now, their opponent tonight, Schmidt, he's a sinker baller and a big curveball. Those are his two biggest weapons. Okay, the big curveball, if it's hung, it can be hit out of the park because that forward spin on the baseball that comes into the plate, and when a hitter puts an easy swing on it, it accelerates the spin forward to turn into backwards and just it launches. So curveballs, you don't have to swing hard to get them. And sinker ballers, you just got to find holes. A guy who's got a good sinker all night, if Schmidt's on his game, they're going to hit the ball, but you're just hoping you find holes. And like the other night, it would be nice if we can see them get the infield in, and then we can hit balls through it. So it could go a lot of different ways. But the one thing, C-Dot, that's got to be there, that's our defense. Stay away from careless mistakes. Make the plays you're supposed to make. Your athleticism, your adrenaline will help you make the great play like MJ did in Baltimore against that wall, that running catch with a less than 5% probability for the catch. Man, that was special. Massey saved a run. I mean, those spectacular plays, those will happen. It's the ones right at you or the ones to your left or right or the little comebacker to the mound, the pitcher squeezes a little too hard. Those are the things you hope we can stay away from. But if pitching and defense go, I think we got them right where we want them.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler here. That's the thing, at least for me in this game, where I think the Royals could potentially take advantage is the Royals have the undeniable pitching advantage in this matchup where you have an all-star that's going on the mound. You're also at home, so a familiar park, and you're going up against a guy in Clark Schmidt who hasn't pitched in 2 weeks and is also on the road for his first postseason game. This is a game where I would like to see the Royals get off to a good start, maybe score in the first 3 innings of this, and really try to get to that Yankees bullpen.
That's right, C-Dot. Man, you can analyze just like I can. You see it, what's in front of you, and it's a beautiful product. And you know, a lot of us are amazed that it came this far this year so soon after it's the most dreadful season in Royals history. I mean, the turnaround is amazing. So what we do here is we just sit back and watch Lugo execute and dissect and watch him use his 9 pitches and hit his spots and trust that defense will turn some double plays behind him. And that they can just get in their game. But I'm with you. When you score early, you're in you up the odds as far as winning that ball game. So we can get on the board for it. And even if we can't, we showed the Yankees in their house that we can counter them. They took the lead. We took the lead. What were there, 5 lead changes or 6? I mean, it made a record in Game 1. So look, the Royals know they are not out of anything. So if they get behind, you know, they're certainly going to go up there and compete in their at-bats like we've seen all season long. Really nice to see Garcia's ability to level that swing, get hot again, and just get on base for the others, pick a time and steal. I think he only got thrown out 1 time all year long. He's going to be a weapon, no question. Let's hope Junior can get out there and get his running game in. They're not prepared for the running game. Their catchers don't have great numbers as far as throwing guys out. So let's just hope we can get them on, get them over, and get them in and keep it simple.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler for a couple more minutes. Hud, I very rarely have got the opportunity to ask you this. What is it like for you to be a Royals fan? Like, you normally are working during these games. Now you got a ticket. You got to walk through the turnstile like everybody else. You're living and dying with every pitch. What is it like to go from Royals broadcaster to Royals fan?
Oh, I get to be a fan. I don't have to. Hey, look, it's nice to come to the ballpark and not feel important and not feel like I'm having to carry the show. Look, this is a great opportunity. The Power and Light district was amazing. The first 2 games in against the Orioles, that was fun to be with the people. I loved it. And now coming here, me and Joel Goldberg will do a couple of little things maybe for their social media with the Royals, but we're here to sit in the stands and be with the people and enjoy it and love on the people and give them some thumbs up, some knuckle bumps, and it's really 14 and 15 was a gas. Even though we were working the pre and post game shows, it still was so much fun to be with our fans and to hear them. To be all into the game, it's amazing to be a part of that atmosphere, C-Dot. I'm very, very honored, first of all, to be able to have a seat that 13 years ago it changed our lives, my family's too, as we came out here to join this city and join this team and to be a part of a winning culture and a philanthropic culture, as the people here have gigantic hearts, and we all continue to do acts of kindness and love other people. That's why we're here.
Hud, you're somebody that feeds off the energy of the people. I was talking to a Royals employee earlier today, and he told me that he thinks there are going to be 41,000 people out there. You remember what it was like in 14 and 15. What is it going to be like to go to the stadium and see that thing completely filled to the brim?
Oh, it's energizing. And, you know, for these young Royals players that's never gone through this before, I can't wait. Because, you know, C-Dot, we have 2 guaranteed games that these guys work their tails off to come back to give our fans some postseason games. So number one, they're excited about this possibility, but wait till they give the love back to crowd, especially on a big base hit or just introducing the lineups. I mean, the adrenaline gets pumped. You know, goosebumps happen, and to especially to have the New York Yankees here. To be able to have a beat down against them in our house, it's going to be special. I'm hoping everybody that wants to come is able to get a ticket, and if you can't, watch it at home. But, folks, it seems like it's us against the world. But, you know, who's the pressure on, C-Dot? You tell me that.
I mean, the pressure, I think, has to be on the Yankees. I mean, they always say that a series doesn't start until the home team loses. I mean, the home team is already lost, and now you got to look at it for what it is. This is a best-of-3 series, and the Royals have a guaranteed 2 home games. The Royals have a slight advantage heading into this game.
Right. Hey, now, and then when you pop off and you have players that aren't very mature and don't understand how to keep your mouth shut in situations like this, that puts more pressure on the Yankees. A couple of their guys popping off. I can't believe it. Look, go ahead and heat more pressure on you guys. And so they asked Salvi if he wanted to counter on what one of their players said, and he goes, "No, thank you. I'll keep my mouth closed." That's what you do. You don't heap any more pressure on your team by popping off, saying childish-like things. This is a grown man's game, and it's an emotional game. And believe me, one little comment like that can sway the outcome. But I'm glad that it's not us, it's them, and who cares about them?
It just doesn't make any sense to me why Jazz Chisholm would even do this, because no one was really worried about Jazz Chisholm. Like, the Yankees just have so many superstars that the attention is going to be on Judge. It's going to be on Soto. It's going to be on Stanton, Garrett Cole that's pitching tomorrow. Jazz Chisholm just opened himself up to be booed by 40,000 individuals. That just didn't seem very smart to me, Hud.
No, you're not thinking. And, you know, maybe, I mean, a lot of managers, before the playoffs even start, will remind the players, guys, be careful what comes out of your mouth. You'll put pressure on you. You don't need undue pressure. There's already enough pressure. You don't need to heap any more on you. So apparently Jazz didn't get that, or he just went ahead and went out on his own. But really, you're hurting your team, not just yourself. And so I'm sure there's some guys that said, "Man, I wish you would just be quiet." We know better. I don't think Salvador Perez runs the clubhouse, so I'm sure he's had that meeting and he knows all about that. The experience that we have on our team are great, if not greater than what they have, and we've been there and done it. So this is really I feel warm, I feel good, just like you do, C-Dot, about the advantages that we have. Emotionally, having, you know, everything to gain and nothing to lose. There is such a great opportunity for teams that are in that situation. So you look at each other and go, "Fellas, man, we've already won. The Royals have already won the 2024 season." Okay, nobody expected this. Nobody, even but I called it early in the season. I said, we'll go worst to first, because I was happy and excited, and I knew we had pitching and defense, but I really didn't believe that we would go in this deep into the postseason already, but we are. So we're here. Let's continue to believe and lift up this team and the organization, the coaches of 6 years. 6 of the new coaches here, second year. Piccolo, Mr. Sherman, and all the cast of ownership, all pulling on the same end of the rope. That's a mighty force, C-Dot, and a force that I don't think can be broken.
Hud, last thing here, we've taken up already enough of your time, but I need one more favor. I need you to pump the individual up that is driving to Kauffman Stadium right now, that is about to tailgate, have a beer, they're taking their kid, their wife to their first postseason game, and they don't know all the way what postseason baseball is like. I need you to fire that individual up for tonight's game.
C-Dot, look. If you love baseball, that's one thing. We hope you all do love the game. Some of us, it's intertwined in our system. But look, even if you don't, be prepared for a wonderfully performed social event. That there'll be actually, you won't have the socializing like you normally would in a regular season game, but baseball is a social game. You're going to interact with fans. You're going to meet people that you've never met before. This is a great opportunity to come and say hi to the people in back of you, in front of you, and side of you, left and right. No matter what jersey they wear, let's enjoy the opportunity. Believe me, postseason, we're hopeful that it will happen every single year, the rest of the next 10 years. But we're not guaranteed it, so enjoy it, believe it, feel it, and by golly, go Royals.
Hud, tell Kate I said hello, tell Jen I said hello, tell the rest of the family hello. And, you know, we were supposed to be out at the stadium today. We had some technical difficulties, but I will be there tomorrow, so hopefully I see you tomorrow.
Hey, C-Dot, I'll be coming by. Maybe you'll let me on again, but hopefully we'll see some great things tonight and with the Royals W. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely. That is Rex Hudler joining us on the show. Always great to catch up with Royals television broadcaster Rex Hudler joining us at the show. Man, I missed our opportunity to ask Hud if he would have a PSL pizza today out at the game. What was the PSL pizza again? It was like pumpkin pie with cinnamon and espresso drizzle. What was it?
And mascarpone cheese.
Mascarpone cheese. I don't know what that is, but
it's like a cream cheese type of food.
That's, come on now. My palate's not that refined. Mascarpone? I don't even know what that, how do you spell it?
You've never had mascarpone? You've had mascarpone cheese before?
I never had mascarpone before. I don't know nothing.
I'm pretty sure mascarpone cheese is in like cannolis and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's a little too highfalutin for me.
They don't have cannolis at the Red Lobster?
No, never. Never. I'm telling you, Rob got that promotion and he started eating mascarpone cheese. I'm still eating chicken fingers over here. I'm still keeping it my roots. I'm still staying grounded. I'm staying humble. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Vern plays this. It's called Double Play, where he gives a bet and then a 6'10", 96.5 personality gives a bet. Rob won that game this year. Rob won people money on Vern's postgame show. So why would we just let him give winners on that show? Why doesn't he give winners on this show? Rob's going to give you a couple winners coming up on the other side. And there is something that makes absolutely no sense to me about the Yankees. I'll explain it. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Century Roofing would like to thank you, KC, for voting us the best roofing company in Johnson County for the third year in a row. To celebrate, we are extending our free material upgrade sale on all roof replacements. Get a Class 3 or 4 impact-resistant shingle for the same price as the standard 30-year or premium shingle. Save on your insurance premium and increase the value of your home. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, your hometown roofing team. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Hey, it's Carrington here. Let me tell you about our friends over at Gates Barbecue. Some of you are heading out to the game today. We'll go stop by the Gates Barbecue, not that far from the stadiums over there on 40 Highway, and go ahead and pick yourself up something to eat. You know Gates is always going to have your staples, your originals. They're going to have your chicken. They're going to have your beef on bun, your mixed plate, heavy on the sauce, please. But they're adding a couple of new items. Starting October 15th, they are welcoming the Burnt E Mac. Oh, you get that one. I might have one over your head a little bit. They also have the Gates Chicken Link on a hoagie bun, just another new item that's going to be served at all 5 of the area locations. And again, they still have your favorites. And some of you plan on going out there and tailgating a little bit over these next couple of days. Well, you got to make sure you have your Gates sauce. You got to make sure you have your Gates seasoning before you head on into the game. So it doesn't matter what your plans are tonight. Maybe you're going out to the game. Maybe you're going out by the stadium. Maybe you're planning on watching the game at home tonight like I do. Make sure on the way home that you stop by any one of the Area 5 locations. Grab yourself something to eat from the best barbecue restaurant in Kansas City. It is Gates Barbecue.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. You can enter to win a chance to be on the field for the March to the Three-Peat. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pizza Taccio, the king of Kansas City's New York-style pizza scene, has taken KC by storm. Pizza Taccio uses the highest quality local and organic ingredients, hand-tossed by KC natives. Oh, and did I mention they were voted KC's favorite pizza? Place your order now for pickup or delivery at pizzataccio.com. Or stop in for a slice at any of their locations in OP, Midtown, North KC, St. Joe, Waldo, or Belton, and dive into the taste that's conquering Kansas City, one slice at a time.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles.
Highly logical.
Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters and how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Arvest Bank, believing in the power of serving others.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest, we believe.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic is sponsored by Park and Go, your top choice for all covered airport parking. The Cordell and Cordell traffic cams showing some slowing around a collision that's downtown westbound 670 just before Broadway. It's got two right lanes closed. Further north in North Kansas City, another two-car crash northbound 35 just past mile marker 20. That has cleared, but the traffic has not. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park and Go. Always the best service, always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services. All spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 96.5 The Fan.
All right, Rob, I want you to help out the people. Now, we helped the people on Monday. On Monday, I gave 3 betting props. Rob gave 3 betting props. All 6 of our props hit. So if you had put $5 on every bet that we had made on Monday, I believe you would have made $230. I believe somebody sent a ticket and said, hey, I did this. I love the show. They made $230. Now, I can't promise you that all the time, but you know that we're going to do our best here. So, Rob, I have asked you to put together just a list of props of things that you like for today's game. I only made one small bet today. I took the over on Seth Lugo, outs recorded. I think he could pitch into the sixth. I got it at plus 138 over on FanDuel. So if that's something that interests you, I just figured I would take the plus money, throw a little hat into the game. I might place one or two other small bets, but I just want to watch the game. I just want to enjoy it. I'm not going to go too crazy on tonight's game. But Rob, I'm asking you to do this because you are the double up champion on this station. So you are trained, you are a professional and trying to help people win a little bit of holiday, Christmas, playoff cash. All right, Rob, help the people.
Carrington, I got a very simple two-leg parlay tonight for
Ooh,
the Royals
you're going a little
and
parlay,
Yankees.
boys.
First things first, Bobby Witt 1+ hits. He is getting off of that cold streak. He is too talented of a player to not get a hit tonight. I know it sounds dumb, it sounds cliche. Rob, Bobby Witt to get a hit, that's lame.
He ain't done it the last 2 days.
He hasn't done it all series. So you know what? I like Bobby Witt to get a hit tonight. And you know what? I also like tonight, the second leg, Royals as the money line in the first 5 innings. I think the Kauffman crowd is going to break the Yankees pitcher.
I don't mind
I
that.
think it is going to be pressure like he has never imagined. And that crowd, while it cracks him, is going to boost the boys in blue. Bobby Witt gets a hit and the Royals to win after 5. Two-leg parlay, plus 124. I'm a plus money man, Carrington.
You got to be a plus money guy. That's all we do on this show is plus money. I'm not paying the juice. No. I don't hate that. What's Royals leading after 5 innings by itself? If you take it
minus
away from
115.
Okay, yeah, that's about right.
I know you can kind of juice it up if you want, and you're like, oh well, they'll lead by 0.5 runs, but you can change the odds. But just pure winning is minus 115.
Okay, all right. Well, just want to help the people out here. That's what we're about. We're about helping people and putting a little money into your pocket. So good luck, everybody. Coming up in a bit, we're going to talk about the pitching in this game, in this series. It is confusing, to say the least. Earlier today, we asked Vern what the expectation is for Clarke Schmidt. He is the starting pitcher today for the Yankees. Here's what Vern said.
The thing is with Clarke Schmidt is if he can quiet the mechanism, right? If he can silence the 41,000 and execute his pitches, his arsenal's good enough to give New York 4 or 5 quality innings and keep them in this game. But for a young man, 28, but for a young man making his postseason, well, not his postseason debut, but his first starts in the postseason, to do so at Kauffman Stadium in the city's first playoff game in 9 years, that first inning could get bumpy. And with Bobby and Salvi due up in the first, that could be all she wrote. So if that cutter and sweeper and curve and all that stuff with action that Clarke Schmidt is throwing, if he's not finding the zone and the Royals can lay off, make them come to you, if the Royals offense can do just that, this thing could get loud and Clarke Schmidt's night could end very quickly.
The entire, I guess, idea around Clarke Schmidt starting is just so intriguing to me. So he has appeared in the postseason. He has never started a game. So he pitched in 2022, didn't start. So he only has 2 1/3 innings. He is being given the opportunity to start today. He has not pitched since September 29th. So about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks now, the last time. He was not great in that. The last time that Clarke Schmidt pitched more than 6 innings in a start was on May 16th. So we were talking about before Memorial Day. So to your point about you need to get in early on this and you could potentially knock him out of the game, I expect the Yankees to have a pretty quick hook when it comes to Clarke Schmidt. I don't expect him to be given an opportunity to get in trouble. Where I think if you're the Yankees manager, if you're Aaron Boone, you got to be thinking, if we get 4 really good innings from Clarke Schmidt, good. We don't need 5 strong innings from him. We certainly are not expecting him to give you 6 innings. That's not the kind of pitcher that he is. I mean, he's only done that 2 times this season where he has pitched into the 6th inning. That's not what you're expecting him to be. You're expecting him to give you 4, maybe 5 good innings. And if you get that from Clarke Schmidt today, I think you got to be pretty happy. This is a scenario. This is a game where, man, the Royals should be able to get to him. I mean, he has given up at least 2 runs in his last 4 starts and hasn't pitched in the last 10 days. So this is an opportunity for the Royals in the 1st, 2nd, possibly the 3rd inning. You got to get hits. You got to put him in trouble. You got to put him in some high pressurized situations. This is different than coming in and pitching 2, 3 outs. No, you're expected to get through the lineup at least 2 separate times. Is Clarke Schmidt a pitcher who is capable of doing that in the postseason game? It remains to be seen.
I mean, it is an odd sensation as the team that, 4 days ago was the underdog. And still most betting markets, like I'm betting earlier, have the Royals as the underdog today. And honestly, tonight I've seen the Royals as a slight underdog if you want to play the money line. Royals are minus 102, Yankees are minus 115 tonight. So slight. But I don't understand that. Every baseball mind that has ever existed tells you that the key to winning is great starting pitching. In the postseason, they double down on that. If you have great starting pitching in the postseason, watch out. Nothing about the probable pitcher matchup, even if Aaron Boone goes to the hook quick, even if that's the case, nothing about the pitcher matchup screams, boy, the Yankees have an advantage tonight. I'm befuddled by what the betting markets and people are saying about how the Yankees remain the favorite in a 1-1 series in Game 3 where an all-star is taking on a guy. He's at the Jag.
Yeah, I would say, even in the 3 possible games remaining, let's say that this gets to Game 5, I kind of think that the same way we saw in New York, we saw a split. I kind of think this series is at least going 5, and we'll see what happens in Game 5. The Royals have the undeniable starting pitching advantage in at least 2 of the 3 games. They have it today with Seth Lugo. Probably don't have it tomorrow with Garrett Cole going out there. You'd have to give the nod to the Yankees. And then heading into Game 5, I think you have to give Cole Reagans the advantage, and the Yankees struggle against left-handed pitching. So the Royals right now just feel this is the spot that you want to be in. You won 1 game in New York. Your back is not up against the wall. You got an all-star pitching for you today. You got the home crowd, and you're back at home for the first time in almost 3 weeks. There are a lot of boxes to check for Kansas City that if you're going to do this thing, if you're going to pull off the upset, so to speak, at least how people's perception is going to be, you got to win today in Game 3 where you have the advantage. You got the pitching advantage. You got the home field advantage. This is the game that you need to come home and take care of business and really start to put the pressure on the Yankees where they obviously have to win Game 4 or that is the end of your season. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll continue to talk more about the pitching in this series, the pitching matchup in tonight's game, and there's something that just doesn't make any sense to me about the Yankees. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Shout out to sponsored by Park and Go, your top choice for all covered airport parking. The Cordell and Cordell traffic cams showing some slowing around a collision that's downtown westbound 670 just before Broadway. It's got 2 right lanes closed. Further north in North Kansas City, another 2-car crash northbound 35 just past mile marker 20. That has cleared, but the traffic has not. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park and Go. Always the best service, always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services. All spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
I love this business, really. I love seeing the look on a guy's face the first time he sees the ring we created. The custom ring that's going to say to her what he can't say with words. The ring she'll show off to her family and friends and wear for the rest of her life. Yeah, I love it. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and I see a lot of it. In fact, we're having our best year ever. I love that, too. More people are trusting House of Diamonds than ever before. They come for our one-of-a-kind custom jewelry, to be sure, but they also come for a better diamond at a better price because we only carry the top 5% in each diamond grade, priced direct from the cutter. In fact, a new customer recently compared our diamond to a so-called higher-graded and more expensive diamond at a store down the street. Our diamond was noticeably better in color, brilliance, and quality. No surprise. You don't last 3 decades as a family business charging more for less. House of Diamonds, still on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
This year, FanDuel is giving you a chance to win big every Thursday night with FanDuel Squares. It's the same Super Bowl squares that you've known for years. This time only way better. That's because your numbers aren't just randomly assigned. You get to pick them yourself. You can pick as many as you like. You'll get to see the odds beforehand, and you can bet them live during the game. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/CDOT to bet on your squares. Plus, if you're new to FanDuel, you can bet $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel is home of some of your favorite boosts, player props, and now FanDuel Squares. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expires 7 days after free restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Royals baseball. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to take a trip to New York to get the Yankees' perspective of the game. Earlier today, we had on Josh Vernier. We also had Rex Hudler on the show today, and we asked Vern about the decision to start Adam Frazier. I think that's one of the big storylines in this game. So Adam Frazier has not played yet in the postseason, but he has had a lot of success off the Yankees starting pitcher, Clark Schmidt. He is 4 for 8 with a home run and 2 doubles. Here is Vern on the decision to give Adam Frazier the start today.
Lefties have fared better against Schmidt for his career, even more so. And listen, it's not as if, he hit a home run off of him 3 years ago. No, he faced him twice last season as he played in the American League East with the Orioles and had, like you mentioned, quite a bit of success against him. He's been a fine defensive right fielder and hitting in the 8 spot tonight. He maybe sees 2 at-bats. And you see him hitting between, you have Kyle Isbell in there, MJ Melendez in there. You have Michael Massey, a lot of lefties. So you would imagine late in the game, Tim Hill is going to come out of that Yankees bullpen. And Adam Frazier is likely pinch hit for a big swinging bat in Tommy Pham or Hunter Renfroe. So, yeah, why not? Listen, this is what Q's done all season. As he said at his introductory press conference, we're looking for the 51-49%. We're always going to err on the side of the 51% and hope that the numbers work out for us.
So that was Josh Vernier earlier on the show. We will get the Yankees perspective here coming up in just a bit. I do have a question to ask you guys, 913-586-7965. So maybe this is just part of my own ignorance for not being the biggest baseball guy in the world. The kids would say, "See-da, you don't know ball." But can you guys help me understand how the New York Yankees, the evil empire, with all of this payroll that they have and all of the money that they spend on talent, can you guys explain to me how in the most important game of their season, they're starting Clark Schmidt? The Yankees' payroll is $309 million. The Royals' payroll is $122 million. The Yankees are second in payroll, where the Royals are 20th in payroll. How do the Royals have a vastly greater rotation than you have? It's not even like a majority of these guys are homegrown. Michael Wacha, not homegrown. Cole Reagans, not homegrown. Seth Lugo, not homegrown. How are the Yankees at a pitching disadvantage in the postseason to the Kansas City Royals? That doesn't make any sense to me. How? Can anybody help explain that to me? 913-586-7965. What's that saying? I need you to explain it to me like I'm 5. Have you ever been in a situation where you were watching the game with somebody that doesn't really understand sports, and then they ask you a question and you can't fully explain the answer to it? It's just like, I don't know. That's just how it's always been. I remember when the Yankees used to have like Andy Pettit and Mike Mussina and Roger Clemens. Like that was their rotation. Clark Schmidt is starting game 3 on the road. A guy who's never started in the postseason, a guy who has no chance of going 6 innings. Rob, please explain this to me. Help me understand.
I mean, I can do the technicality explanation, which is they spent a lot of money on Marcus Stroman this offseason. He stinks. Nelson Cortez, I believe that's his first name. Cortez, who's been good for them, is hurt. That's the answer. But even that answer is lame. You're right. When we watched the Yankees as kids, when we watched that team just mow through the postseason, it was Pettit, Clemens, Mussina. Like, we get a break in game 3. They're starting Mike Mussina, who's going to the Hall of Fame or might be already in the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, game 3 is some dude we never heard of. And it's even more staggering considering, think about like the last Royals run. In 2016, Dayton Moore and Co. told us they had to keep up with the Jones of starting pitching. So they dropped the bag at Ian Kennedy's feet because that was the only way to compete. You got to throw big money at starters. You got to win with starters. Starters this, starters that. The starters pitching market's just outlandish. The Royals outspent the Yankees in starters this offseason, and the dividends are being paid. I grew up in an era where if you outspent on starting pitching, it was because you were in LA, you were in Boston, you were in New York, not in Kansas City. Even if Stroman has stunk this year, there is very little reason for a guy, me, you, and the average fan listening to my voice, the K right now, knows about going up against an all-star in Seth Lugo. And not the Mark Redmond type of all-star where it's like the someone's got to do it. It was a legitimate all-star. It's legitimately puzzling.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT's because of Judge, Soto, and Stanton. They paid for bats, not pitching. I mean, it's not even like the Royals have really spent for pitching. Michael Wacha is on a 2-year, $32 million deal. Seth Lugo is on a 3 for $45. Cole Reagans is not making real money yet. And again, the Royals didn't draft and develop these players. They just went out and acquired them. There's no team in baseball that just goes out and acquires things quite like the Yankees. They just go out there and they just grab who they want. They don't have a pitcher for today's game. How did the Dodgers not have a pitcher for today's game? You're telling me you had all this money to go get Shohei Ohtani, and you don't know who your game for? The Dodgers are down 2-1, and they have not named a starter for tonight's game. It is wild what is happening between the big market clubs in baseball. All right, Rob. I want to give you the opportunity because I like letting you talk about things you're passionate in. This summer, we let you talk about KU making the college football playoff. You lied to the listeners. You wasted their time and my time. You told me that this year was going to be different. That's what you told me. It's not different. Speaking of going back to 2014, the Royals are in the playoffs and Kansas stinks at football. Time's a flat circle. It's a flat circle is what it is. There's some things you're passionate about. You're passionate about your hatred of running backs. You don't want any team to run the football ever. You could be up 14 with 8 minutes to go in the Super Bowl. Why are you not throwing the ball? Don't run the clock out. Throw it. I want to give you 90 seconds to tell us why you hate Derek Jeter. Because I know if there's a list, your number one least favorite athlete is Jason Tatum. Your number 2 least favorite athlete is Derek Jeter. Seems like 2 great guys. Never bothered anybody. Never caused any problems. 2 Hall of Famers. But you hate both of them. I know why you hate Jason Tatum. Why do you hate Derek Jeter?
I think hate is strong. I just think he is the most undeserving, unanimous selection of the Hall of Fame in the history of baseball. The Baseball Hall of Fame, which couldn't get everyone to agree. Hey, first ballot, no doubt, unanimous. Let's get Babe Ruth in there. Nope. There were people who were like, George Brett. There were detractors. You can't let George into this hall on the first ballot. I vote nay. That was a thing that happened.
Somebody voted against Ken Griffey Jr.
People voted against Ken Griffey Jr. We can name the players. They get voted against in ballot 1. They all eventually make it, but it's like, oh man, they got by the 85% threshold. Good for them. There is nothing about Derek Jeter's game other than playing in New York that justifies him getting everyone to say yes. He is a good player. He's Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin's a Hall of Famer. Derek Jeter's a Hall of Famer. But people talk about him like he's the Tom Brady of baseball, when he's not. He's just the shortstop who played in New York. He is the poster child for East Coast bias. If Barry Larkin played on those 90s teams, we'd be all hating him. He'd have the Jordan Brand logo on his chest. He'd be the owner of the Marlins and flame out as a GM. That would be Barry Larkin. But instead, we give that hype and that love to Derek Jeter. Last thing, everyone talks about his defense. Every nerd stat in baseball tells you he wasn't a good defensive shortstop, and the only reason his iconic play is iconic, going back into the hole, jump throw, getting the guy out, is because he was a lumbering oaf who shouldn't have been at shortstop. That's why his iconic play is iconic.
Who do you think is more overrated, Eli Manning or Derek Jeter?
Derek Jeter. But Eli Manning's very much in the same category. He's going into the Hall of Fame because he played for the Giants.
Okay, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to say how you feel. I get that opportunity. I have to give you the opportunity as well to communicate how you feel. 913-586-7965. We all have a take we're passionate in. Tell me what you guys' take is. You guys know mine. Baked beans, not that good. March Madness, incredibly overrated. It gets worse as it keeps going on. It's the only tournament that feels that way. I just, I have my hot takes too. Rob's hot take, Derek Jeter, overrated. He called him Barry Larkin in New York. Someone on the text line called him Ryan Sandberg, who played in New York. I was okay, all right. Hey, that's how you guys feel towards Derek Jeter. All right. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about two all-time Kansas City legends. We will take a trip to the Bronx and take a trip to Yankee Stadium and catch up with the Yankees beat writer and get his thoughts ahead of tonight's game and just get you fired up for the first playoff game baseball-wise in Kansas City in a long time. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold, and for those of you who've been listening to the show for a while, you know all about our friends over at Centric and how you can find a brand new career in as little as 4 months. But did you also know that you can work with your current schedule with some of their flex options for learning online or in person?
Maybe you're just getting out of high school and want to start that career now and that career path now, or you're looking for that change with better advancement, better pay. Centric can do those things for you.
They have plenty of funding options like the GI Bill. You just got to go talk to our friend Russ at Centric.com. That's CENTRIQ.com.
Hi, we're your friends who get super excited about the holidays. We sure are, or this isn't the ugliest holiday sweater ever. People think we're happy because we love peppermint lattes.
Or catching snowflakes on our tongues.
But really, it's because it's Holiday Millionaire Raffle Season. It's your best odds to win $1 million.
That's dollars, not twinkling lights, but that would be great too.
Play the Kansas Lottery Holiday Millionaire Raffle. Get excited.
See KSLottery.com for details.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Our Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on Valspar Reserve or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Infinity or Showcase Interior Paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Whether you're painting one accent wall or want to freshen up a whole room, we've got you covered. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Fall in the Midwest is pleasant. The air is crisp, the temperatures are mild, and all is right with the world. But every one of you knows that lurking around the corner is creepy old man Winter. He wants to come into your home, put his feet up on the couch, and take over the remote. That's why you need to replace your drafty old windows with triple glass replacement windows from Thermo King. Triple glass? But weren't you told that double glass windows were all you'd ever need? Think again. Triple glass windows offer double the insulating barriers against creepy old man Winter than double glass windows. And their super strong frames are guaranteed to never twist, warp, fade, or fail. And right now, Thermo King is selling their triple glass windows for the same price as double glass. Who would do such a thing? Thermo King, that's who. So don't let this beautiful weather fool you. Protect your home from creepy old man Winter and call Thermo King today. 888-KING-WIN or online at thermokingwindows.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costco's here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
One of the marquee games, Week 6 Pro Football Sunday. Detroit, a 3-point road favorite at Dallas. The total in the game is 52.5. Now, if this goes up to 3.5, I'll be interested in grabbing the points with Dallas, but I also like the total in this game as well, and I like over 52.5. Seems like a square play it's such a high number, but I think Detroit's going to be able to run the ball all over Dallas, explosive plays in the run game. And on the flip side, Dallas's offense starting to round into form a little bit here, so I like the over. Give me the over 52.5 points coming up on Sunday, Detroit and Dallas.
That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
When it comes to car buying, you deserve options. So at Volkswagen Lease Summit, we have 3 incredible promotions to pick from. Choose no payments for 90 days, 0% APR for up to 60 months, or we'll double your down up to $3,000. Pick out your car, then pick your promo at VWLeaseSummit.com.
It's Derek Johnson, and this season, Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are awarding one lucky school a $15,000 facilities enrichment grant. Tell us in 100 words why your school deserves the grant at helpmymocenschool.com and make this the best school season ever.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A multi-car crash has cleared westbound 670 just before Broadway. Few brake lights still left over, and seeing a stalled car blocking the left lane of eastbound 435 just before 49. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Kane is in the building.
Welcome to your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
The text line is telling us what some of their hot takes are. He hates Derek Jeter and thinks that he's the most overrated baseball player. You guys know my stance on March Madness. It is the only tournament that we watch that gets worse as it keeps going. The Masters is better on the weekends than it is the first 2 days. That is not how we feel about March Madness. Someone says, CDOT, you only feel that way because you cheer for Missouri. We got to start telling the truth about what March Madness is, or at least what it turned into. March Madness is watching a lot of players you don't know and hoping that some school that you've never heard of before wins a low-scoring basketball game. It's not that exciting anymore. It used to be great. Oh, man, we were kids. They would wheel the TV out there. It's not that good anymore. The baseball playoffs are more exciting than March Madness. I know you won't let your heart say it because they play that cool little song and Luther Vandross starts singing. The baseball playoffs are more entertaining than March Madness. You certainly know more baseball players. You know college basketball players. If he don't play on KU, you have no clue who he is. None. None. The only kid people know now is that kid at Duke, Cooper Flagg. You don't know anybody else playing college basketball anymore. We got to start telling the truth about March Madness. That's my hot take for the day.
Isn't Armando Baycott still in college?
No, not anymore. He's finally gone. They do have RJ Davis. He is still there, though.
Six in one hand.
And Caleb Love is still in college, which makes no sense to me. I do not know how Caleb Love is still in college. I don't know what he's going on right now. It doesn't make any sense right now. He is the only person who just seems to have all of this eligibility left. All right, coming up in a bit, we are going to take you back in time for a pop culture rewind and let you know what the most popular song, movie, all of those things were whenever the last time that the Royals made the postseason. We're going to also head to New York here coming up in a bit. But before we do that, I want to tell you who I think today is ultimately about, because I think today is about three separate groups of individuals. I think today is a lot about Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez has made more sacrifices to play for the Kansas City Royals than any player in the post-free agency era. There has not been a Royals player who has sacrificed financially as much as Salvador Perez has to continue to be on the Royals, and in the midst of being able to leave. Think about it. We live in the social media era where people criticize you for anything. Salvador Perez is one of the few people who could have requested a trade and everybody would have accepted it. If Salvador Perez had came out last year or the year before and said, man, I gave this organization everything. We've won championships together. We've celebrated together, but I want to give myself one more opportunity to get to the postseason and compete for a championship. So I've asked Dayton Moore or JJ Piccolo to trade me. I don't know as a Royals fan how you could have been upset if that was Salvador Perez's stance in 2022 or in the middle of last year. He has had multiple opportunities to be traded. He could have been traded to the White Sox. He could have been traded to the Miami Marlins. He had an opportunity to go play for the Texas Rangers. He has said no every single time. And the reason that he has said no every single time is he wants to continue to play for the Kansas City Royals, and he had a vision that they would return to a game like today. He had a vision that the Royals would return to a team that matters. A team that you care about, a team that you are proud to go out there and see. It is $150 to stand at the Royals game today. Robin, people are paying it hand over fist. A Royals employee told me today they are expecting more people than any game that was at 14 or 15, just because they're letting so many people in on SROs. People are paying $150 a ticket to not even have a seat. They just simply want to be in attendance today out at Kauffman Stadium. Salvador Perez is one of the few people who knew they were going to be back at this place. And not just like eventually. I mean, now. You got to give Salvador Perez a lot of credit for sticking through. And the fact that he has been the bridge now for the old generation, now who've turned into podcasts and parents and all of those things, retired. Think about how many guys from that team are now retired. James Shield, Danny Duffy, Eric Hosmer, Lorenzo Cain. Think about how many guys whose jersey that you own don't play baseball anymore. There's only one of them that has lasted this long, and it's Salvador Perez. Today, Salvador Perez is going to play at a game in which Eric Hosmer is coming back to throw out the first pitch with his kid. Think about that. That's how long Salvador Perez has been playing for the Kansas City Royals and has never wavered in I want to be here, when it would have been very easy to waver. And most athletes in his position waver. We see it too many times. These trade requests, they don't just come out of thin air. Someone decides, I don't want to play for you anymore. Salvi has always picked you. Let's talk about Bobby Witt Jr., who made a decision that not many people do. Not just athletes, not many people do. Your best leverage is always going to be when multiple teams, multiple companies, multiple entities can bid on your services. Bobby Witt Jr. gave up the ability to hit free agency. He was always going to get a mega contract. I know the Royals gave him the money, and I'm not trying to diminish the Royals giving him that money, but the contract that the Royals offered him, every other team in baseball was prepared to offer Bobby Witt Jr. the same thing at any moment. He could have got that money from the Yankees, could have got that money from the Padres, could have got that money from the Blue Jays, anybody. Every team, and I don't even care what your shortstop situation is. You will figure it out if Bobby Witt Jr. decides, I want to come play for you guys. Bobby Witt at 25 years old said no to all of that and said, I want to continue to play in Kansas City. I'm sorry, it's only so big of a baseball star you were going to be in Kansas City, Missouri. It's not like the NFL where your quarterback can be the biggest star in the sport. It's not really how baseball works. Rob, who was the last small market star in baseball? Like legitimate star in baseball? Because usually you play for the Dodgers, you play for the Angels, you play for the Yankees. I'm talking about a legitimate superstar. Or you play for a traditional organization. You play for the Braves, one of those teams, like Acuna. You play for one of those kind of teams. The fact that Bobby Witt Jr. said no to all of those things and decided at 24, 25 years old, I want to play for the Royals, it should have shot him up to the Travis Kelce level. The same way that Kelce has always chosen the Chiefs, chosen less money, chosen less opportunities to continue to play for this organization, Bobby Witt Jr. did the exact same thing at a much higher scale. That's the sacrifices that these two individuals have made to play in today's game and having the vision that this is going to happen. Bobby Witt could have always kept the leverage over the Royals. Hey, I don't want to sign long-term. I want to continue to make you guys do this in free agency and do this in free agency, and maybe I'll stay. That happens all the time when you have a really talented player in small market. Rob, you and I see it all the time. It happens in baseball. It happens in basketball. Anytime you have great player in small market, that market will bend over backwards to try to keep that player happy and keep that player engaged. He gave all of that up to continue to play for the Royals in the middle of the Royals being terrible. It's not like he signed the deal after this season. Hey, Royals turned the corner. You were a big part of that. You took a big jump. You signed a big deal. That would make sense. He signed it in the middle of the Royals being the worst team in baseball. That's hope. That's faith. Those people should be celebrated for the decisions that they've made. And Kansas City is a city that, we can be honest here, turned on Tony Gonzalez for the feeling of not being loyal. Salvador Perez has shown you loyalty tenfold. Bobby Witt Jr. has shown you loyalty tenfold. Bobby Jr. showed more loyalty to the Royals than any current baseball player has shown to their respective team. Other guys have signed long-term deals. They have never done it that early in their career and with the market that Bobby Witt Jr. decided to do it in. That's big time. Sure, he got a lot of money. That money was always going to be there. There was never a time in which Bobby Witt Jr. wasn't going to sign a $200 million, $300 million contract. He was always going to get paid. He gave that up to play for the Royals. And it's not just about them. It's about us. It's about the fans. The Chiefs have done some amazing things over the last 6-7 years. They have had success that some of you never thought they would see. The Chiefs one day decided, you know what, we're tired of taking other teams' backup quarterbacks. One day we're going to draft our own quarterback. They did that, and they drafted maybe the best quarterback we've ever seen. The Chiefs went from the team who went 20-something years without winning a postseason game to now they're the dynasty in the National Football League. Nothing the Chiefs have done comes close to what the Royals accomplished in 2014. Not in terms of buzz, not in terms of excitement, not in terms of memories, none of those things. And they are the dynasty in their sport. It is not how it was in 2014. And today sort of feels like a celebration that we have found ourselves back in that same place, back at Kauffman Stadium, back celebrating Eric Hosmer, watching Salvador Perez. It's playoff baseball again in Kansas City, and that's really cool. So there are a lot of game points, and we're going to head to New York here coming up in a bit. And I want to talk about the baseball game part of today because that is obviously very, very important. But I do think we need to take some time and recognize the fact that no one thought the Royals would be here. You could be the most optimistic Royals fan out there. People did not think that the postseason was possible at the beginning of the year. It became clear as the season progressed. But the fact that the Royals went from 56 games to now you feeling like they have a chance to beat the New York Yankees in a playoff series at home, it has been an incredible journey over the last 6 months. Let's go to the phone line, speaking of the Yankees, and be joined by Max Goodman. He is with the New Jersey Star-Ledger, who covers the Yankees. Max, how you doing today, my man?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Absolutely, man. Doing fantastic. Let's just start with this. What was your read on the first two games of this series? The Yankees got one, the Royals got one, and now we're headed to Kansas City for Game 3.
Well, I think the read is that these Royals aren't going to go away. I definitely expected it was going to be a formidable opponent for the Yankees, and in some ways they don't necessarily match up the best because they play fundamental baseball, they take the extra base, they play good defense. They got some good pitching, which we've already seen. Yankees have been struggling a little bit on offense against their starters so far. So, I predicted going in Yankees in 5. I still think that that's definitely on the table, but nothing would surprise me at this point. I could see the Yankees taking these next two here, but I could also see Kansas City taking them because I think Lugo is a rough matchup for them. He throws so many different pitches, commands so well, doesn't put runners on, and if the Yankees don't break through, then, anything could happen if their backs are against the wall in a Game 4.
Right now, we're talking to Max Goodman, getting the Yankees' perspective on this series. You're right about Seth Lugo. He's had some success against this Yankees lineup. Let's dive a little bit more. What is it about Lugo that I guess worries you about this Yankees lineup heading into it? Because I'm looking at it, Lugo with his command. I'm looking at the ballpark as well. I think Lugo can have a pretty decent start tonight.
I agree, and I think that you can look at the familiarity too, right? Like he pitched against the Yankees twice this year. So that can go either direction. Maybe that's advantage Lugo because then he knows some of those hitters better and knows how to attack them. But it could also go in the Yankees' favor. And maybe, a guy like Aaron Judge, who's 0 for 8 lifetime against Lugo, is a little bit due and finally breaks through against him. Or Juan Soto, who has the best numbers of anyone on the Yankees against Lugo career-wise. He's a pick to click for me tonight because, lefties have some more success against Lugo. So, what the Yankees have shown in these first couple of games is that as much as they've been struggling with runners in scoring position, they've been getting guys on. They've been really patient, knocking starters out a little bit earlier. I was surprised Reagan's only went 4, I think it was, right, in game 2. So if they can maybe get some base runners on and work some walks against the starter that really doesn't lose his control and command, it's easier said than done against the guy who can command, whatever it is, 9 different pitches. But I think that's the game plan. Try to get on base and also attack and capitalize on those opportunities early on.
Max, if you can you take us inside the mind of a Yankees fan and how they're feeling right now about Aaron Judge, who might be the best baseball player in the world, but he is a completely different player in the postseason?
Right. I think you're a little conflicted, right? Because Judge is coming off one of, if not the best single seasons by a right-handed hitter in MLB history. And he doesn't have the steroids hanging over him like some other generational talents that we've seen. And when he goes, the Yankees go. So I think fans are a little nervous. There is a narrative that Judge doesn't come up big in the playoffs. He hasn't done it just yet. And some of his bigger postseason performances are, years and years ago, like from the first couple of seasons of his career. So they expect him to perform. And, does 3 bad games or 4 bad games in the ALDS overshadow what he did over 162 in the regular season? In New York, in this market, they're expecting to win in October. So it very well may be that case where a lot of fans aren't as happy with him after this series goes. But like I said, if Judge performs well, the Yankees typically do well too. And when you factor in Soto, that's why there's the narrative that they're a little top-heavy sometimes. But they still led the league in wins this year, led the American League, I should say. So, when those two are firing on all cylinders, then this team wins games. And I've been very impressed with the bullpen as well. They've really shut the Royals down so far too.
Max, what can you tell us about Clark Schmidt, who's getting the start today for the Yankees?
Well, it was going to be between Clark or Luis Gil. Gil's upside, I think, is a little higher. He's got such high-octane electric stuff, but his command is sometimes a liability. They would have had to go in with such a short leash. So they bank on the consistency with Schmidt. And, he's just coming back from an injury where he had like a 3+ month layoff, pitched 5 times in September, was starting to capture his rhythm back a little bit. Game 162 was a terrible weather day in the Bronx, so really you're only looking at 4 starts for him since coming back from that injury. But he used to be a top prospect for the Yankees. Was a first-round pick. He had a lot of untapped potential for his first couple of years within the system, and then finally starting to crack in with the big league club. But if you look at his numbers, he was magnificent before he got hurt this year. One of the best young starters, I think you can say, in the AL. But the IL certainly changed the trajectory of that breakout season for him. And, he's as confident as you're going to see a young player or maybe a little inexperienced compared to some of the other veterans on the Yankees staff. So I think as much as I expect the atmosphere to be crazy at Kauffman tonight, I think he's going to be well equipped to handle that. It's just, can he execute with his pitches?
I was just going to ask you, what are your expectations for him? What's a best case scenario? Because I'm looking at it right now and I'm looking at his baseball reference page. If you could get 4, maybe 5 decent innings from him, I think you feel really good and you hand things over to your bullpen and try to close things down. That's why just looking at it through the Royals' perspective, I think it's going to be really critical for them to try to get on him early and try to score in those first 3 innings.
Absolutely. I think you're looking at 5 solid innings, and then you hand it over to the bullpen. And the perks of the way that this series format is with all the days off, everybody's pretty much rested. And like I said earlier, I don't think the Yankees bullpen has given up an earned run yet this series. So if they're able to go through 5 with Schmidt and then hand it over to those high leverage guys that they've really trusted towards the end of the season and now into October, I think they'll be in good shape. But it's a tall task for Schmidt because this lineup has shown, the Royals that is, that they can hang with the best of them. And if they're going to, knock Cole around and bounce back like they did against Rodon after he looked so good on his first trip through the order, it's not an easy matchup necessarily for Schmidt. So this is one of, if not the biggest starts of his career.
That's also interesting, just kind of listening to you and kind of your perception of Schmidt heading into this. You know, you would think kind of the opposite, at least when it comes to him. I mean, he's a guy who doesn't have a postseason start, doesn't have a lot of postseason experience. He hasn't pitched since the end of September. You're going on the road for this game. Like, there's a lot of things that could go left for him tonight.
There could, but I'll tell you one thing. At my previous job when I covered the Yankees for the Sports Illustrated network, I had the chance to sit down with Schmidt when he was still a prospect, and this was spring training 2020, so before he had made his MLB debut, before everything shut down with the pandemic. And I asked him where he sees himself in 5 years. I'll never forget it. He was like, I'm going to be the number one on the Yankees starting staff. So that's the kind of confidence that you get from him. And as much as this is a huge test for him in terms of the playoffs, in terms of the injury this year, and you know, maybe proving himself a little bit that he can be part of this staff when the season's on the line. Again, I really do feel like he's equipped to handle it. It just is going to come down to facing a lineup that doesn't walk very much, doesn't strike out very much. They're going to put the ball in play, and you got to handle those you know, big names in the middle of the lineup. I'm kind of surprised Bobby Witt hasn't done anything yet, so I feel like he's due to have a big game. And, you know, Perez and Pasquantino, like that's a tough lineup to get through, and a lot of veterans that are going to be counseling those young guys over there.
Right now, we're talking to Max Goodman here for a couple more minutes. He covers the Yankees. All right, Max, I've got two final questions. What are your Yankees' keys for a win tonight for them?
I think it's just getting Lugo out of the game as early as possible. You know, the Royals bullpen, at least from my perspective, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's kind of the path to victory for this Yankees offense. It can be a liability of sorts. And we saw in game one, you know, those relievers that were coming in, they couldn't find the zone. It was resulting in a lot of opportunities for the Yankees. But they're 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position so far. 19 runners stranded on base. You're not going to win games when you're failing in those run scoring opportunities. So just look at the first inning, those first 2 games. You know, Judge, Stanton, Wells, they didn't capitalize when they had runners on base and in scoring position in those 2 frames. Could have set the tone for those 2 games. So, you know, the Yankees were able to eke out a win in game 1, which could have gone either way, and they were outplayed in game 2. So, I mean, the statistics say that if they don't win game 3 and game 4 is at home for the Royals, that the advantage is just heavily in Kansas City's favor. So you got to take advantage of this opportunity to go up 2-1 and then, you know, keep trying to win every game.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because I'm looking at it, and I understand why Vegas has the Yankees as the favorite, right? They're the Yankees and they're playing the Royals. I mean, history kind of says that the Royals have the advantage. The fact that they won the game in Yankee Stadium, and now it is a 3-game series, and the Royals have 2 of the next possible 3 games at home. I mean, it kind of feels like the Royals have the advantage in this. They have Lugo. They also have Cole Reagans, who's going to go in game 5. Do you look at it that way? Do you think the Royals have the advantage in this series?
Yes and no. I mean, certainly the history would suggest, like I said, that the advantage goes to the Royals here because they split on the road and they have home field advantage now. But it's a case-by-case basis with every series that's gone 2-2-1 in the division series in history. So you got to factor in the Yankees have such so much potential with their lineup that they haven't really started scratching the surface yet offensively this series. But they have a propensity to go cold like this. So I'll also mention that they were the best team in the Big on the road this year. And as much as, again, I do think the atmosphere will be nothing like they've encountered, they're used to playing against hostile crowds where, you know, everybody loves to hate the Yankees, and also Yankees fans travel pretty well. So they will have some fans here, I'm sure. And if they can continue to play well away from Yankee Stadium, then they'll make sure they don't have to come back and play for their season on Saturday in a Game 5 or even potentially tomorrow night.
Max, last thing here, and I'll get you out of here, and we appreciate your time. Have you told Jazz Chisholm that he's about to be booed by everybody in attendance today?
I don't think anyone's had a chance to do that yet, but he was swaggering around during BP and doing his thing. He plays with such a flair. He's seemingly been a perfect fit for the Yankees so far with a trade deadline that was pretty, you know, quite frankly, I think it's fair to say disastrous. Otherwise, with the bullpen guys they brought in, Jazz has been one of the best acquisitions that any team made in terms of a position player. So, you know, he's got to come up big. Maybe that home run in Game 2 really gets him to start going. But I think he also feeds off of that kind of hostile environment, or at least that's what he's been saying. For someone who played with the Marlins for his entirety of his career leading up to this, he hasn't been in these kinds of situations before, right? So we'll see how he handles it. But I think everyone's going to rile around him, and you know, Aaron Boone's a player's manager, so he's going to get these guys ready to go. But I think it'll be closer than some Yankees fans think, as the Royals have have proven over these first 2 games.
That is Max Goodman joining us on the show today. He works with the New Jersey Star-Ledger. He covers the Yankees. He is at Kauffman Stadium today. Max, I'm expecting one of the more electric baseball environments today, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Appreciate you hopping on today.
Thanks for having me. Have a good rest of the week, all right?
Absolutely. That is Max Goodman joining us on the show. Coming up on the other side, John Sherman sat down with Fox 4. We'll play for you what he had to say, and we will recap how long it's been since the Royals have had a postseason game at Kauffman Stadium. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here now on 96.5 The Fan, telling you guys about my friends over at Window World. Window World is the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. Pick up the phone right now and call Window World today at 816-799-0820 or check out the website, windowskansascity.com. And remember this, when you call Window World, be sure to mention that you heard this on The Drive with me, and you'll be entered into a drawing for 4 Chiefs tickets during the upcoming season. You know they got some big games, and you're going to want to be there. So call my friends over at Window World. They're offering right now 36 months, same as cash financing, with approved credit. In over 20 years of business, Window World has improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 54,000 homes right here in the Kansas City metro. So pick up the phone today at 816-799-0820 for a free home estimate. Call to be entered into a drawing for 4 Chiefs tickets. Remember, Window World, simply the best for less. And the official window of your Kansas City Chiefs.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Pizza Taccio, the king of Kansas City's New York-style pizza scene, has taken KC by storm. Pizza Taccio uses the highest quality local and organic ingredients, hand-tossed by KC natives. Oh, and did I mention they were voted KC's favorite pizza? Place your order now for pickup or delivery at pizzataccio.com. Or stop in for a slice at any of their locations in OP, Midtown, North KC, St. Joe, Waldo, or Belton, and dive into the taste that's conquering Kansas City, one slice at a time.
We hear a lot from our patients after we've successfully treated their erectile dysfunction. But one thing we hear the most is, why didn't I get treated sooner? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you're suffering with ED and all the emotional and relationship problems it causes, don't wait. Call us today. ED is simply a medical condition like any other. And for most men, it's fully treatable, which means you can get your sex life back. And I'm not talking about sex that's just okay, by the way. I'm talking about good sex with the ability to enjoy intimacy without the anxiety that affects so many men who have ED. In fact, you might find you're performing like you haven't in years. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated thousands of men with protocols that are successful in well over 90% of cases. And we have a variety of treatments and treatment combinations so you can get the one that's right for you. So stop waiting and call us. Your first visit includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready. in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Tonight, expect mostly clear skies with a low of 56.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic's brought to you by Park and Go, your top choice for all covered airport parking. Got a crash in North Kansas City, northbound 35 past 16th Avenue. That is closing the left lane. Also seeing a multi-car crash at 35 northbound to 75th Street, stopping traffic. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park and Go. Always the best service, always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services, and all spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Make sure to follow The Drive on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we got a lot to do and don't have a whole lot of time to do it. We are signing off early today because of the Royals. John Sherman was on Fox 4 earlier today. He sat down for an interview. He was asked a question. It started with, are you surprised with how quickly you guys got to the postseason?
You know, it's a hard question to answer when I think about 2019. You know, we get hit by the pandemic. We had 2 years that we were dealing with that. We had a work stoppage, and then we lose 106 games, right? So last offseason, JJ had some very specific goals. He went to work on them. He accomplished them all. And we've been fortunate enough to stay healthy, and obviously being here in this, to bring October baseball back to the K. We've already played 4 games in October, but this is the first one back here, and this is really what we're most excited about.
Great to have the hunt for Blue October back at Kauffman Stadium. What for you was the key? I know a lot of people point to the starting pitching, the effort the team made to go out in the offseason and get some quality starters. One of them will take the hill tonight. There's also talk about the influx of analytics and the analyzing some of the things that maybe were missing prior, but are now part of the lexicon of this franchise. What is it for you?
I think it's all of that, John. JJ, with intentionality, brought some people from outside the organization in when he took on this job 2 years ago. Matt Quattraro, our manager, came from Tampa. Our new pitching coach, Brian Sweeney, came from the Cleveland organization. And I think those were organizations that perhaps were a little bit ahead of us in those areas. But at the end, people ask me a lot, you want to be like Tampa, you want to be like Cleveland. We want to be the Kansas City Royals and our own brand of baseball. So I think that is really the key. I think we have found an identity which is based upon excellent pitching, good defense, base running, and then timely hitting. And so far in the playoffs, we've been able to do that.
One other major issue that you've been dealing with during this season, clearly not a distraction, is a new location for this team, this franchise, focusing on downtown. Does it help to have this kind of energy when you're also dealing with those kinds of things in the background? Does that give you a little leverage or a little insight?
I certainly hope it helps, but right now we're really focused on beating the New York Yankees this afternoon, and there'll be plenty of time to talk about that once the season's over. But it's all exciting. I'm really just so excited for our fans and our community, and really, really, really proud of the players and coaches and staff for how they've handled. Another reason's been the leadership of that group. I mean, J.J. Piccolo and our manager Q, they have had a steady hand through this whole period.
You were a part owner of the Cleveland Indians, or Guardians, the Indians then, now Guardians, before you came back to Kansas City, although this remained your home. Would you rather play them or the Tigers?
I can't worry about that. I think the Tigers are up. When I came out here, they were up 2-0 in that game. But we'll play whoever comes out the other side. We got to focus on making sure we take care of the Yankees first so we get that opportunity.
You know what, John? Thank you. TV people, always pushy. We talking about the stadium and talk about the Tigers. Let's deal with Game 3. That's hard enough. You're going up against the Yankees, the most storied program in baseball history. We'll worry about that when we get there. All right, before we get out of here, and we appreciate you guys listening and making us a part of your day. Hopefully you're heading out to the game. Take care of yourself, man. I want to play for you what the top song was the last time that the Royals hosted a playoff game at Kauffman Stadium.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it.
Rob.
But I love it.
Couple things. Number one, that doesn't sound like The Weeknd. That's number one. You got the Kids Bop Weekend. That's number one. That's Weekday. That was not The Weeknd. That's number one. And that was not the top song that was not the top song with the last time that the Royals were in the postseason. I know what the top song was. It was by Sir Fetty Wap.
That was the top song in the summer.
No,
of 15.
that was the top song for everybody.
Because in October,
that was not The Weeknd. What version did you give us?
I grabbed the top one off YouTube.
That was Weekday.
That was Weekday.
Yeah, that was not The Weeknd.
By the way, is The Weeknd
Rob's fooling people here.
By the way, has he done anything since the Super Bowl? Is he just still putting out music, or is he kind of done?
Oh, let's move on here. There's a lot of nonsense going on. You tried to sabotage the segment, and first off, you disrespected Sir Fetty Wap. Fetty, hold your head up. You in prison right now. So hold your head up right now. And then Rob, I don't know what's going on with Rob right now. I'm telling you, ever since I let Rob get that one Derek Jeter takeoff, he's been walking around a little different for the last 20, 30 minutes on this show. Here was the top movie the last time that the Royals were in the postseason.
Do you realize how crazy this is? We have no other option. No matter what happens.
What movie is this, Rob? I'm not familiar with this.
This is The Martian with Matt Damon.
I never seen that before.
You never saw The Martian with Matt Damon?
Yeah.
It won like a ton of awards.
I'm happy we quit making space movies. They made Interstellar. They made Gravity. We didn't need no more. We've been there before. We've been to that universe before. That's the worst of those movies.
No.
What movie is The Martian better than? It's better than Interstellar?
Interstellar.
It ain't better than Gravity.
I never liked Gravity, but
I do like Gravity. It's like big conflict, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, hold on, what just happened here? I like the Gravity. Very good film.
I mean, Gravity was great about giving us Clooney for like 12 minutes. Yeah. Hey, this guy's gonna get paid. You guys know him, and now he's gone. See you later.
That is kind of what happened.
Let's get George.
All right, I do not know what the top song or what the top TV show is. I think it's a little bit too early for Game of Thrones. I'm gonna guess Big Bang Theory.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14.
It's the only show people watched in 2015. You didn't watch anything else. You watched Big Bang Theory. Who was keeping the lights on over there? Y'all really like that show like that? That's a Two America show. I don't know anybody that watched that show. Not a single human being. You know somebody that watches that show?
I mean, the olds, but not like personally.
I might be the only person that watches network television. I watch Law and Order.
You watch one show on network television. You're not like watching network television.
Can you imagine when you were dating your fiance, like, hey, what shows are you watching? She's like, man, I really love Big Bang Theory. You would not be married today if that was the case. You would not be married. I had a lot of fun today. Tomorrow, we might be out at Kauffman Stadium. I don't know. I know I will be here. Rob will be here. Hopefully, you will be here. Go Royals. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5